All right, welcome into another loadout race here. Today we've got Bandit. It's Bandit time. We're here in the Siphon Forest. We've got 4 racers up in the top left. We've got bigdywigdy, a 13th seed, one of the racers that I didn't really expect to be doing as well as he has been throughout this series. Hadn't really seen too much up until the hosting league, but is doing really good. Have seen some wins in the past. Might be able to see an upset against Goji over in the top right. In the light, Bandit's sun-dried clothing. Sun bleach, that's the term. Up in the top right, very beautiful Bandit there. They find a armor-piercing round, changes some settings. Goji has been killing it. Week 2 had a little bit of a slip-up, had a little bit of a mistake up against, I believe, was it Ruddy or Zinc? But since then has pretty much been flawless, has had some really rough loadouts, some really rough competition, but has been able to just be really steady this whole time. It's been good. And we could see some more of that today. But while we have those 2 racers down at the bottom, we've got disturbyfan down at the bottom left, over in the 27th position. Still, I mean, Disturby's finished a loadout before, hasn't. And same for Liam, for that matter. Both have at least finished loadouts, have gotten somewhere before. Between the 2 of them, though, they're both currently still trying to qualify for the tournament. They need to start to do pretty good. I would expect at least for Disturby a little bit further behind. Would probably need to get at least in 3rd place here. Second could be possible. Could always happen. You never know. Even first, perhaps. And same with for Liam, a little bit ahead. I believe Liam got in 3rd place in week 1, but has just been struggling a little bit since. We'll see if that changes today, though. And in a loadout like this, in a bandit like this, where you have a shiv, you've got the shotgun, lights out. A lot of people I know don't really like lights out too much. Personally, I think it's pretty fine, especially when you're speedrunning. You're not spending those 5 to 10 minutes every stage building up before the TP event, right? You gotta go, you gotta move, and it helps out a little bit with the speed, with getting from point A to point B. More smoke bombs, more bullets, more shivs, more everything. Which is, again, pretty good for speedrunning. Looking at Goji here for a bit, already done with killing the Titan, gets a Lepton Daisy. That's actually going to be okay, given there's no healing drone on anyone's screen. I don't see any. I think there might be a drone or 2 near TP. We might see after, but they'll at least get a little bit of healing after killing the boss, assuming they're not at 50% on TP charge. Disturby, I'm surprised. Okay, there we go. Soldier Syringe. I was concerned. I was like, okay, 3 minutes in, only has 1 item. That's a little odd, but it's doing fine. That overloading Lemurian is shooting the beetle, and the beetle's just kind of pushing those little bubbles forward. That's kind of funny. These beetles are a vessel for this Lemurian. Look at almost gets hit again. Oh, this is like a perfect stun grenade or a smoke bomb. Just use a shift if you're a Disturby right there. Boom. Go behind. Yeah, there you go. Get those beetles out of here. That's money. That's good. Some items of interest. Liam has a crowbar that could be good for lights out there, especially taking out the smaller enemies. It's going to be really easy to just kind of chain that ability a little bit more. Goat Hoof, right next to TP. Both Goji and Disturby have found that. Big D, the only one with a Warhorn. Not sure where that came from. There was a blast shower on Big D, though. Goji will not have that throughout the run. As Goji, they've already, well, made it to stage 2. Was that a... Okay, yeah. Mending Pest on spawn. Hopefully no one else gets taken down by that. Goji using some skill, though. Using some knowledge on movement. Just avoids that. Will not have to worry about getting sniped for 100 damage later on. Very cool. Okay, so it's options. I see. You can get a goat hoof, you can get a crowbar. And then there was a third option, which I don't think anyone went for. Big D actually going for the mobility. I don't hate the idea for speed. I think Crowbar might be a little bit bait. Although it's convenient, it's nice, it's a little bit of damage. Damage can come later on. Mobility, once you get out of stage 3, there's no more tri-shops. There's no more white tri-shops, I should say. Which means it's a lot harder to find mobility items when there's a lot less weight options, right? Usually most of your speed that you get after stage 3 in these races comes in the form of a printer or of like red whips from or quails. Right, so you want to try and build up that mobility. See Goji there getting an energy drink, has a hoof, got a caffeinator. Okay. I just said caffeinator. I literally thought it said remote caffeinator. I didn't even think of the royal caffeinator thing. That meme is dead. No. No, that is a capacitor. Okay. Which is actually going to be really, really good for Liam, who found a fire band and has a crowbar on stage 1. The second Liam finds that capacitor, it's GG. I mean, not GG, but like, I mean, Liam has a huge advantage over Goji, over Big D, right, with that crowbar, with the fire band after the initial strike. That's going to be good, and there's going to be an energy drink on stage 2 as well, alongside an adaptive chest. That adaptive chest could be some easy mobility if picked up. We'll see. It's right next to TP as well. We'll see if, oh, large chest. I think that's a red item. No way. No way. Oh my god. Did anyone put money into disturbyfan? The only one with the head stompers. Disturby finds a large chest and has stompers. Will she find the band? Will she find the... No, didn't take the crowbar, but that is huge. That is actually insane. That is exactly what you want in the 27th current position in the leaderboard. This is a perfect chance. I mean, Big D might take a death here from that pest. There's a blazing pest, a little bit of a slow circle there. Okay, it's doing a little bit better now, though. Gets Shuriken for the TP boss. Oh my god. I mean, that's a pillar skip. I think that's the fire band. No, that's a ukulele. A ukulele that I believe Liam also found. Maybe the fire band might be nearby. No, it's gonna get the blast shower. Okay. Wow. Big D was that close to the ukulele and head stomper. Jeez. Okay. Now we'll see what happens. Sometimes it's a little bit awkward, even when you have such a build like this, to know when to move out, to know when to go. Right, Disturby has had a lot of DNFs, has gone over the 40-minute time limit. So might want to just build up a little bit more and play a tiny bit safe, but I mean, at the same time, if you're Disturby, right, you're up against Big D, you're up against Goji, two people who seem to get every good item every time. But not this time, right? Disturby doesn't know that, though. And, oh man, imagine with the fire band what could be done there. Whew. No money on Disturby or Liam? Well, some people are about to get robbed. You gotta prove those doubters. Take those points away. Ukulele from the adaptive chest is a third option. I believe both Goji and Big D went for that. There's also a quail. Ooh, yeah, that was like option number 1. Personally, I would have taken the quail if I saw it, even with a little bit of movement speed items. Oh, this rat is something else. There you go. Sunbomb's really nice. The smoke grenade on Bandit. You have something slow, something annoying just running around you. Just boom, shift, stun. There's a quail guaranteed on Loot Island in that utility chest. And oh god. Okay, Disturby's in a little bit of trouble here. It's a little mini stomp though. Nice, does the trick. Even though you have stompers, you kind of got to know how to use it a little bit. You got to be a little safe using that. Oh man. You definitely don't want to die with those. Oh, but taking 2 shots, use the blast shower. Oh jeez, okay. I don't know if that was, no, it wasn't used. But thankfully did not die from the overloading bubble there. Come on, Disturber, you got this. You can hang in. Respawns are dead. Things are gonna calm down a little bit. Other racers, though, in people's positions I like, everyone on the bottom. Liam has the fire band, has the crowbar, has the capacitor now. Found that with double armor piercing round. Does Goji have double? Yes, everyone has double except for Disturby. Disturby picked up a capacitor. I think in terms of comfort, that could be good. I think the blast shower was also really nice, just with you know, potential fire bands or other things with the stomps. Could get some extra value off that. It's also protection. There we go. Liam one-shotting that Beetle Queen. Oh, Big D took the did not find the capacitor on stage 2. Amphibian is capacitorless. Stuck with Blast Shower. Okay. Does Blast Shower refresh the Stomper's attack like it does bands? No, but it does refresh the band, so if you accidentally proc them somehow, you can just shower right before you land. And then when you do that, oh god, Disturb, you're scaring me. You're scaring me so much. Please don't die. There's a feather on Goji. Oh yeah, look at that. I think that's a TP item. Goji's already done with the TP blast. Got that. Oh wait, no, that was Bandolier. Unless it was in the small chest next to TP, which might be the case. I believe it is, actually. So everyone's going to have feather no matter what. If not the stompers from stage 1. Sticky Bomb on Big D. Movement speed for Disturby down to 22 health. Has been almost dead for like 3 minutes. Is only alive thanks to almost only because of the bison steak at this point. Hanging in, getting some bison steak value. That's going to be the death mark. There will be the quail on the island. If Disturby can get to that island and pick up the purple chest, we'll have quail with stompers. And if she knows how to trimp with those, is going to be in a really, really good spot. Okay, Big D finishes off the TP almost immediately. Welcome in, Ridley, by the way. You're doing good. Thanks for tuning in. So Wax Quail picked up for Disturby on the bottom left. Again, the only person to find Head Stompers on stage 1. None of the other racers. Exact same seed, right? Exact same everything. All they had to do was find that large chest, and no one did it except for Disturby. But Disturby is the furthest behind, right? And might not be the most comfortable, right? You're seeing these small, tiny stomps, no trimps with the quails or anything like that, right? Again, still learning the game a little bit. One of the newer players, right? Still doing the Eclipse climb. I believe she's on Eclipse 3 or Eclipse 4. Her climb. Still some ways to go. But we'll see with this huge advantage in play, if she can make the most of it. As safer spaces is found on Goji, and everyone else on Sulfur Pools who finds that cradle will have safer spaces. Everyone who opens the small chest next to Teleporter will have a feather, right? We see Big D has the feather. We see Goji has the feather. Once Liam does the TP, he'll have the feather. Right, so the Stompers, as cool as it is, it's an AoE clear. It's a quick pillar skip. I don't know, I mean, assuming no death, you're going to have to go real fast if you're Disturby to catch up fully. Oh man, look at that. There's like 5 mending beetles. Look at that Beetle Guard's health, or Beetle Queen's health. Geez, still kind of being able to pull off the kill. Obviously having backstab damage is nice. You definitely don't want to just shoot the Beetle Queen. Yeah, it's back up a half health. Take care of those beetles. Get one stomp in, Disturby. Throw in your lightning. Oh god. Look out. There we go. I think that took care of a couple. There we go. Safer space is found for Liam. Nice. And oh, baited by the gold orb, Disturby ran right towards it, saw the money, took the bait, and that's going right into a Beetle Guard Sunner. Even with this And a really nice item with the head stompers takes a death. Hopefully he's able not to have any more. And maybe we'll see if something happens for the others, but Big D with spaces. Now everyone's gonna get spaces, everyone's gonna have feather. I mean, that's a guarantee. They're pretty out in the open. With the Void Cradle, yeah, we see Big D and Liam already having it. Yeah, another death as well for Disturby. Just even with this in hand, the Glacial has just 1-2 shots, boom. With the Beetle Guard, Sunders isn't really paying too much mind at the moment, and it's stressful. There's a hard light on Goji. It's going to be really easy for getting behind enemies now. Any projectiles tracking is not going to be there. And if you're Goji at this point, by the way, right, on stage 4, on Sunder Grove, gets a Bleaching Seed. This is still just go time. This build, even without the bans, you've got really good mobility. I would like to have a backup magazine. I mean, that could really help for Phase 1 and Phase 3 immensely. It would be cool also if you found one of the fire bands, and oh my god, Liam taking a lot of shots here from this Beetle Guard. Takes a lot of damage, but with all those sulfur pods, manages to stay alive, finds the gun, opts to take the gun for the TP, right? Didn't find it after the fact, so it's going to be able to get a Beetle Guard, right? Because you're going to want to take that capacitor with you. With 2 fire bands, with Sundered Grove as your next stage, I mean, it's gun time right now. And if you're Liam, you want to activate the TP. You just want to shoot the boss. There's going to be a double boss. It's a little bit afraid of all these enemies that keep spawning in, though. You're just going to hit that. There you go. Red item, there's the Shattering Justice for Big D. Okay, I thought that was going to be the Hard Light, but apparently both a Hard Light and a Justice exist on Stage 4, Sunder Grove, in this god run of a seed. Wow. I mean, Capacitor with Crowbar, double Armor Piercing Round, double Fire Band, Feather. All of that there. There's a backup magazine printer. Oh my god. Yeah, Goji knows what's up. You don't need too many. I would say just 2. That's all you need. 1 is honestly all I would have gone with, but 2 can be really good too, and that's huge. You know, we talk about fire bands, we talk about all that. When it comes to Mithrix, I mean, those backup mags are going to provide almost as much damage. With an afterburner especially, I mean, all you got to do is just get behind, boom. Liam, by the way, pretty low on health from that TP event. It's going to be okay, though. We'll need to have, like, a double shot happen for something funky to kick in. Oh, Big D took the Mired Urn on the Stage 4. Interesting. Opted to take that instead of the Blast Shower. I feel like Blast Shower... Oh, Hard Light's on everyone. So everyone's going to have Hard Light. And in this crazy run, everyone has a different build. Goji has more of just a Hemorrhage, Mithrix build, try to go fast, like super fast. We've got Liam, who has double Fire Band, will pick up the Royal Capacitor back, right? With the Crowbar and everything else in hand. Big D with the Shattering Justice, reducing the enemy's armor. Right, also has Mired Urn with the Death Mark. Right, should have Death Mark. No, never found the Death Mark on Stage 2. I was gonna say Hemorrhage, Mired Urn, Justice, Needle Tick. That would have been more than enough to get that going, but doesn't have Death Mark. Unfortunate. The only one not to find it, too. I mean, Disturby and Liam have 2 of them, for crying out loud. And speaking of different builds, Disturby, the only one with the head stompers. Hello. It's a second Harvester Scythe as well. Very cool. Wungus is found for Goji inside the Void Seed if cleared out. Gives Wungus and nothing else. Goji's waiting for the safer spaces to come back online. Wants to get this adaptive. Or not adaptive, Void Potential. And gets a hope for it. So, not really a good, like the best of all things that could have happened there. What was it? A goat hoof and a wungus. Definitely not worth it, but at least we'll make up for a little bit with the healing, and the mobility will at least make up a little bit of time, if not the healing. Right, I don't think any of these racers really are concerned about healing, having harvester sides and leeching seeds and left on daisies. Nice for stage 5 TP. Oh, there you go, Disturby. Disturby's doing a lot better on this TP event. Someone not doing so well on the TP event would be Liam. Takes a death. Having not activated the stage 4 TP yet, I think that was maybe just a larva or a jellyfish. It was something. But takes a death, down a life. Despite having the capacitor with the fire bands, the only one with the fire bands. No one else has a single band except for Disturby, who found one on stage 3. Okay, that's huge. That's pretty good for Disturby. Right, there's no missing with a stomp. You don't gotta aim, you don't gotta... I mean, you gotta kind of time it so that you don't die when you use it, but... The only aim that you're doing with it is how high up you are, and how fast you fall. Which is based around height. I don't even think it's about speed. It used to be speed-based. And they changed it just to make it directly height. You can fall at 1 mile an hour and still do giga damage, giga radius, with stompers. Grandparent is a stage 5 TP. Big D using this tiny little rock as the only bastion of protection. Just kind of terrifying when there's a Void Gup and a Solo's control unit there. Almost gets needle ticked. But it's gonna be fine. Kills the boss, gets a band. Everyone's gonna have a band. And that's good for Goji, who also, having done the TP, has a fire band with the capacitor. Is there Chrono Bobble? Yes, there is Chrono Bobble, so a little bit more value from the fire band as well. Able to keep Mithrix in a little bit longer. Very nice. And as we kind of see like a two-way race here, Big D and Goji taking the lead here with their builds. Charging the TP. What advantages do we see between Big D and Goji? I mean, Big D also went for backup mags. Trying to see, I guess Goji went for the Void Bubble, the Void Seed. But, I mean, both have the 2 stickies, the 2 APR rounds. AP rounds, my bad. Double needle tick, safer spaces. I feel like Goji has a little bit more mobility. Or Big D doesn't, right? I mean, Big D's only movement speed is... Oh, okay, there's an Aegis. There it is. Do you see it? Look at the health bar. Look at the health bar on Goji. There it is. 2 health in the form of barrier. My bad. Is that 3 or 2? Oh, it's a little bit more now with the Bungus. Definitely 3 now. That's nice. For every weeping fungus that is acquired, Goji will have 1 extra barrier per tick. And same with Big D here, but Big D has the Mired Urn. See, Big D thought ahead. If I just take a Mired Urn, boom. I'm zooming. Yeah, Big D's probably concerned about movement speed right now. Frankly, I don't blame him. I don't even think he can host skip, as is. With what, just the 1 goat hoof? Doesn't have any of the mochas. Goji has the... Yeah, an extra energy drake, an extra hoof, and 2 mochas. I mean, that's like 1, 2, like 3 hooves worth of speed. Definitely a huge impact. And it's an impact that Big D's going to have to make up for. Fast. Maybe there's a good equipment here. Let's see, it's Crowdfunder. There's Capacitor. Okay, has that now. Right, we do know that. That was on stage 5. It's gonna need something. Okay, there was the Mocha. That's gonna help a little bit, but again, for all the time that it took for Big D to get all the way over there just to find the Mocha, not exactly the best. Meanwhile, we look back down. Disturby debating between Volcanic Egg and Capacitor. Personally, if you don't know how to trimp, that well if you just don't have that really down. And you're Disturby and you have head stompers, I would take the egg. You're just able to use the egg, give yourself that distance and get that AoE clearing. Something I've noticed with some of the lower ranked players is just they have some things down. They have ways of killing bosses, get behind enemies with Bandit, and here's how you kill a worship unit, here's how you skip a worship unit, all sorts of crazy things. But it's usually the ads. Ad phases, the enemies that just kind of build up over time and you just don't know how to handle them. Right, Head Stomper solves all of that. All you gotta do is go up, and Giga Stomp, right? Anyway, Goji on the moon. Opting not to use that white soup, there is something over there. Justice found for Liam as well. Alongside another tougher time, reduces the cooldown by like a second and a half. And is already skipping pillars. Okay, safer spaces in hand. Has 1 watch, 2 APR, double sticky, 3 needle tick, and has 2 backup mags. I believe Big D has 4 backup mags, so able to get insane amounts of hemorrhage. But still has to walk all the way over. All the way over to the soups. Before he will be able to skip pillars. There we go. Hemorrhage already building up. 4 Mithrix there for Goji. Goji, they don't even have to really be that careful either. Right? Phase 1, safer spaces. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing can kill you. You're invincible until you get hit once, and then you just play a little cautious, play a little careful. Gets Mithrix down below the 75% mark. Takes advantage of that. Mithrix kind of stands still for a little bit when that happens before going back to the center. And Mithrix already down half health at phase 1. It's taking like over 100 damage per hemorrhage at 11 stacks, 12 stacks. Huge value. Big D is still just trying to get over to the host skip spot. Oh, it's a brooch soup. Okay, that's not very good. So here we go. Big D getting in position with a skip. Goes up. It's going to run back. Now, does Big D have enough movement speed for this? I think yes, because of Feather and because of the hoof and a half. If you have a hoof and a half, you have the Feather, you have 3 applications of your shift. That should be enough, even if you accidentally bump the wall. Just a little bit. We'll find out on the 3rd bump, but as Goji is already starting phase 2, already taking care of a few of the enemies there. Liam hasn't activated the stage 5 TP yet. Right, has that 1 death. Disturby's still at 2. Disturby hasn't died since that incident on stage 2 though, so you gotta give her that. It's definitely starting to build up a bit. Has 6 green scrap. I don't think there's any good green or white printers except for the backup mags. If you do go down the route of hemorrhage with stompers and quail. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. That was a good trim. Stomp with that. Oh, not a very good host skip attempt from Big D, but with all these backup mags, we'll see. Already used the Feather. If you fail to get up here, you're kind of in trouble. But there you go. Yep, gets in. Is only 2 phases behind. Yikes. Let's check real time though. Phone call. Okay, Big D gets a phone call. Types it in chat. Has to wait. Was getting the phone rung the whole time during that pillar skip. Oh boy, can you imagine that? You're trying to concentrate, you're trying to do everything you can, and then the phone starts ringing, and you're like, oh man, I'm just doing the start of the 3rd jump of the host skip. It's ringing. How long am I waiting for that one interview? Does my boss want me in at work? No, I've got to focus here. I'm racing in the hosting league. Minus watch for Goji. Oh, yeah. Okay, took a lot of curse there. Could potentially die. And if Goji dies, that is perfect ground for Big D, who has a little bit of a more powerful build in terms of damage, to catch up. Right, no OSP for Goji, but there are safer spaces. I would give Goji maybe like a 20% chance of dying. It's gonna have to be like an oopsie, like when an ad accidentally shoots you mid pizza and then you just eat a slice. I'd put it 20%. Definitely possible. Definitely able to happen. Yeah, Goji's actually taking care of those ads there. And every ad you kill, you get all of your backup mags back, which is actually really smart, right? You get that lights out kill, and then boom, you've got 4 more daggers you can shoot. Oh, not able to do on that one, though. It's actually really smart. I never thought about that. Just using lights out with the dagger. It's probably how the world record happened. World record tactics and play. I think we'll only see one more pizza left. And uh-oh. It's like whenever Big D pauses his game, we get the Big D cam. So this might be timeout number 1, if Cheese is paying attention. We'll see. It also will eventually fix itself after like 2 minutes. But in the meantime, enjoy this censored version of the Mithrix fight. Up on the top left. Goji did not die during the pizza. I don't think Goji's going to die. Pretty much impossible at this point. Cheese doesn't pay attention. I know, man. Look at this. Look at this screen. Oh, and look at that even more for Goji. Gets the phase 4 skip. Boom. Done. Very nicely done. Gonna be a sub 35. Definitely sub 35. Yeah, good portal. Could very easily a sub 34. Actually, probably only gonna be a little bit over. Liam, by the way, found the best item in the game. Doesn't have the Wungus yet. So not getting that Wung value off of the Aegis, unfortunately. We'll have the Bung value, though. Could use the Bungus with the Aegis. Could probably, possibly have that synergy go through. Cheese is too busy watching the Hosting League live streams to catch these issues. I know! Look at this! We're going a whole minute here. He should have known. Should have known with the Big D pause screen. But it is, I mean, you gotta, it's kind of a work of art in a way, right? You know that one, that meme where it's like, do I know what a JPEG is with like Hank Hill? And like it slowly gets more and more crusty as Liam finds an interstellar desk plant. Holy value. That is some crazy Aegis we might be able to see during the, oh, the TP's already done for Liam. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my. His name is actually Cheese JPEG. Nope, he found it. He found out. He looked up from his phone. Alright. Let's fix this. Let's get this going. Goji knows already almost done. Don't really need the timeout. That's fine. And boom. Goji's going to finish off at a 33. It said 33.36. I'm assuming that's going to probably be like a 33.08. That's my guess. 33.08. Come on. Say time to first. 33.14 is the time for Goji. Air horn. Cheese does air horn. Breach and I do duck quacks. Mayan does the gamer grunt, apparently. Good pickup with the wood sprite on Disturby, by the way. Able to take that. Get a little bit of healing, right? Down at half health, picks that up. That's going to be huge. We see Deathmark proccing on Liam. 33.14. As Big D comes back halfway through, already done with Phase 2. Not going to be able to be enough to beat Goji. Right? We couldn't really tell what was happening on Big D's screen during that whole time, but 32.18, yeah, not enough to charge ship or anything. Is going to lose, but could easily deny both bonus points and have a good chance over in Loadout 2 to try and provide an upset. Was right with Aegis' value? Oh, yeah. Because all the Aegis that you build up, like, kind of, it goes away slower. Not necessarily something that's supposed to generate the Aegis. It's supposed to, you know, hang on to the barrier. Oh, God, that was close pizza. Close pizza. I feel like there was like 7 slices there. That was a lot of slices. The slowest pizza mentally for me, and the slowest pizza mentally for Big D, who's already almost done with Phase 3 Mithrix. Again, had the Shattering Justice among other debuffs. Imagine with the Death Mark what kind of value that could be had here. Would have already been done with the fight, but here we go. As pizza number 2 is now coming out, and also with Disturby finding the Shattering Justice. How many red items do we see this run? I think I've seen like 6 or 7 different ones. Holy. Okay, here we go. Big D getting ready, lining up. Does have the Fireband, could try to go for a Phase 4 skip. Is thinking about it. Just going to play it out a little bit more. There's a lot of items here. You don't necessarily just want to insta-kill Mithrix here. Tries to Mired Earn him a little bit. Reduces health just a tad bit. There goes the Lightning. There goes the Fireband. And there goes a dead Mithrix. Well done, Big D. Oh, the glitch happened. Come on, Cheese. Come on, Cheese. Please tell me you're paying attention. You know this by now. It happens. Come on. Should do a loadout race where everyone's on controller. Oh, man. You know, there used to be loadout races where one person would be like on a controller, one would be on a keyboard. And the controller person actually beat the keyboard person, like, twice. It was way back when, before things were seeded or anything. It was a whole other time. But just next time you're feeling kind of down, just know that Cap lost to someone who played on a controller more than once. You'll feel a little bit better. But yeah, 33-14 was not able to be beaten. So now we look at up next, which would be time to deny. 38-14 is what Big D needs to get to, which, unless Big D dies, already a third of the way through the charge. It's looking fine. It's looking dandy. Oh man, poor Disturby. Again, without the, if not for those 2 deaths, Disturby would have been really just chilling. Look at that stomp. Boom. Yeah, starting to understand those trimps. Those trimps are value. Those stompers are value. Is only starting to really see that value now. He played out. It's gonna go for another stomp. Oh, there you go. Just find a tiny ramp. If you've got Quail, you can do that. Boom. Boom. Void Reaver's exploding everything. Liam, by the way, with the host skip here, looking out for the perfected Wisp, decides to try and fight that instead of go back down. Was kind of afraid, understandably so. 35-20 is the time for Big D. Which secures Big D in second place. And secures no bonus points for Goji, so we can start handing those out now. Goji does not get any bonus points. We'll stand at 3 though. Really good job, really good run from Goji. They're really good application of Hemorrhage. And for Big D as well. I mean, neither of them had died throughout. There were some close moments for both, but they held on. And that brings us to time to completion. I don't want to get DNFs. I want to try and get in that 3rd spot here as Disturby and Liam are fighting for that 3rd position. Time to complete. Complete meaning you have to finish Phase 4 Mithrix by this time. That red health bar on Mithrix needs to be gone, and it needs to be gone by 73-14. 40 minutes after first place is finished. Easy money. Oh yeah, gambles. Who wins? Goji. Goji wins. But it was close. It was only God, 2-minute 6-second difference. It's pretty up there. Big D's no laughing stock. Gotta put on your gamer face when you're going up against him. Here we go, Liam versus Disturby. Liam already in the Mithrix fight. Disturby still needing to finish off the some of the enemies around the TP before feeling comfortable to activate. Gets a nice stomp on that Elder there, nicely done. Deathmark being applied left and right for Liam here. Liam did not go for the hemorrhage at all. I think it's very easy to think of hemorrhage as kind of like a second thought and afterthought, but I mean, not really too much time for that to kind of tick up or be applied, right? No backup mags, just getting Deathmark almost immediately. Really, really good. Look at that. Just like 1 or 2 shots and boom, Deathmark. There's an Ice Band on Liam. There's a Capacitor on Liam with 3 Fire Bands, the 2 armor-piercing rounds, the Crowbar, right? That burst damage is going to make Phase 2 a piece of cake. Oh yeah, look at that. Even has a distraction with some drones, has a Beetle Guard. The chances of Liam dying during this are pretty low. And Liam, I mean, he's still got 28 minutes. Oh, that was instant annihilation. Didn't even need the lightning there. That was just for extra style. Boom. Okay, Disturby is going to go for a stomp up here. Coming from behind. There it goes. Boom. Not a very good stomp, but a safe stomp, we'll say. As this grandparent is well below the half health mark. And Disturby would rather just have it die. There you go. No fire damage. And there's another fire band. Up to 2 now. Very good. But while that is really nice and all, Liam just finished off Phase 2 Mithrix, is on to Phase 3 now. Yeah, that's insane damage. That Deathmark value with just everything else compiling. Right, with the Shattering Justice. That makes you deal like 30% more damage, give or take. Oh, Mithrix is already half dead, and it's just the start of pizza. You gotta be careful here. No, Opal. No safer spaces up right now. Dodges all the slices, though. Was being aggressive throughout the time. That's very smart, very good. And Mithrix is already gonna be dead in like 10 seconds. Oh, not when the Exploder takes your Fire Band proc, though. Oh no, 5 seconds. I don't think this is gonna be able to be Phase 4 skip. Oh, wait. Oh, what is Mithrix doing? No! Still has spaces up. 2, 1. Mithrix stopped in the center, but the Beetle Guard, that goddamn Beetle Guard for poor Liam there, just gets in the way with its stupid Slunder. And now Phase 4 has to be done. Liam, a little bit afraid of Phase 4 in the past, likes to play it very hide and go seek. Right, in a much more full looting method, and has actually ended up dying from this in the past. Even his procced Deathmark on himself. Right, with the Eclipse 8 curse being a debuff, you gotta be careful. Gotta know when to peek. Mithrix is just gonna come up in that straight line. Oh, Disturby also in a bad spot though. Oh boy, we'll see. Liam goes for the Beetle Guard. Thankfully, the Fire Band's doing plenty of damage to Mithrix there, though. Gets the other band, gets everything else. Mithrix is gonna die after a little bit of a shaky Phase 4 there for Liam. He's gonna be able to walk out alive and make it to the ship with just the 1 death and possibly have a sub-50 run. Well done. Ever thought about Curse being a debuff for Deathmark? It is. It's really hard to think. It's not every day you're thinking about that. What debuffs do I need on my enemies to get Deathmark, right? I guess the only time you can really think about that is... I think band cooldown's also a debuff, according to the game. Something of the sort. Liam, though, on the ship, gonna charge. Gonna have that sub 50. Disturby will still have the chance to fight for 4th, though, as opposed to just a DNF. And can get that just by... Well, let's see. 73 minutes, has about 19 minutes to go. But with Stompers, double Fire Band, double Armor Piercing Round, 3 Focus Crystals. If you can get some good stomps as Disturby, you're chilling. You're having a time of your life. You just gotta get past that uncomfiness of Stompers. It's kind of hard to get used to knowing what you can and can't stomp. Right? You can't walk into Mithrix mid-pizza and just go for a stomp. Otherwise, you'll eat 9 slices. Gonna get the Mocha here. Very nice. Oh, space is on cooldown. Yeah, it's also debuff. All right, we get the whole ship sequence for Liam here. So skip a 50 or a 49.50. Nicely done, Liam. GG. Only 1 death. Again, it's not over yet. In terms of the standings, it is important for the racers to try to finish the loadouts if they can, even if it's just for 4th place. It does mean a little bit in the leaderboard, although while fighting for completions is still something you want to do no matter what. It's getting a little scary for Disturby here, who really needed this as a race to try and catch back up. Missed week 3, I believe, or week 2. And just hasn't been able to make up for that ever since. Right, that extra territory that needs to be made up for. And good performance. We'll see what this question mark is. Oh, there's also a Recycler. Interesting. Ooh, Jade Elephant. I like that. Could be really good, especially with Stompers. You mess up a stomp, you just... Nope. Okay, that's fine. I'll just pull up the old Jellyphant. Be chillin'. Disturby, though, going for the safe, or not so safe option, but just the comfy knowledge of Royal Capacitor. It's a really good phase 2 option. Takes care of the Wisps when they're standing still. Takes care of the Golems. If there's an Exploder and you got that down or stunned, you can just use that. Capacitor again, still good. Still decent damage. And a really low cooldown with Warhorn, which means more shotguns. It's still looting up here, and it's got to be a little bit careful with this much looting, right? Getting around to the 57-minute mark, you'd start having to think about, okay, what if someone had like a 17-minute run? If someone else found the Stompers, maybe that could have happened. Right, and while there wasn't any 15-minute runs, thankfully. Ooh, another Focus Crystal, that's good. And a Watch, okay, huge value there. Maybe saves you a stomp or 2. Reduces the number of +5s that can happen. Here in the hosting league, if you want to try and finish at a comfy time and just try to get completions or get in 3rd place, about 65 minutes is where you want to be finishing at. The amount of times that people, oh god, that's a blazing, don't want to stand still. Even on a TP, you never know what's remaining at the end of a stage. Thankfully, didn't die there though. Yeah, I almost lost the watches for sure. That would have been bad. I was able to hold on. And I don't know which skips Disturby does or doesn't know. Even if she doesn't know the host skip, we can look back in time to a classic period of just quail skipping. If you have like 1 quail, you used to, I believe you actually needed like 2 quails You just get a really high position, a really high spot. And just kind of quail jump your way up to the Mithrix fight. You can use this bubble here as a lift. Has a red whip. Has 2 goat hooves. Has a few mochas. Oh wait, it looks like Disturby knows it, is holding spacebar. It's gonna go for an attempt, a little too far. And it's feeling like, okay, maybe I don't know that one too well. The tree spot's good. But she's sprinting. I don't think you need to sprint for that one. It's not important. You just have to hold spacebar for the stompers. Makes it to the soup. Wants to take a look. There's a bottle chaos, the brooch, soup. What else we got? What else is in here? Bandolier, red whip. There you go. That's a good use for your scrap. There's a crowbar soup. Wow. If there was a scrapper and you just got rid of that Aegis there, that could have been +3 crowbars. That would have been real nice. Gonna walk around the route that is most known to her, most comfy. And oh god, perfected Chimera. 17 curse. Okay. Use your feather, go quick. Isn't enough. Hopefully she doesn't just try to stomp those. I want to be a little more to the left here. If she realizes that. Oh, feathers. Forgot to use the, yeah, I was gonna have to run away there. Forgot to use the Hopu feather. Maybe he's thinking, oh, I've got really good just normal movement. I can run away from these. I can just ramp up. Perhaps. Down to about 12 minutes here. I really don't want to take a death. We'll probably still do the fight with 1 death. Okay, maybe he is comfy. Most comfy with this spot. Maybe it's because of the perfected Chimera. He's looking a little too far down towards the loop. You want to be looking at either the rock or... Oh man, it's so hard to see the rock from there, though. I personally hate that advice. It's just, I found a different tiny little spot. I guess it's the easiest one to vocalize, but whatever's the easiest way for you to do a host skip. Keeps messing it up. And oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh geez, the perfecteds are back. Okay, it's in position though. Looking for the rock, looking for the rock. There's the rock to the left. Oh, doesn't matter, don't need the rock. Gets up finally. Hopefully there's no orbs chasing. Gets over the lip. It's gonna be safe. Okay. There we go, that was a little scary. Nicely done. Made it. The Mithrix fight only has the 2 deaths. Feeling pretty good. Run a little short on time, but here we go. There's the ramp. Just hold E immediately. Ah, Mithrix went up. Little cheater. Come on, Mithrix. Alright, this is the time. This is the time. It's not getting away from that one. Easy. Boom. 5th of Mithrix's health gone. Just like that. Obviously, it doesn't have any fire bands or crowbars or stuff to go on with that, but still 4 focus crystals, 2 armor-piercing rounds. Keeps the watches. And look at the damage on that. It's gonna hold. It's gonna hold. There you go. There you go. Boom. Mithrix has a lot of adaptive armor up right now, you can tell. These giant bursts that normally do like 10,000, 20, 30, 40,000 damage are only doing a fraction of what they normally do. This one's going to be good, though. Right, not too much damage since that last shot. And boom, there we go. 4th of Mithrix's health is gone. Something else came through after. I'm going to figure out what that would be. Sticky Bomb? I don't think it would be Sticky Bomb. Maybe. Other stomp. Oh, Fire Ban, Fire Ban, Fire Ban. 404 health. And Mithrix is dead. Phase 1. Oh, it was my Urn probably. No, Urn wouldn't do that much. Here we go. Phase 2. In come the Chimera. And they're already shooting. Look out. That's fine. Stomps only come up once every 10 seconds. They're up now. Usually what I like to try to do with the Stompers is I like to try and hide behind a pillar a little bit. And just kind of wait for them to catch up or bunch up. Maybe try to pick off a couple of the stragglers that are furthest away. Yeah, now they're up close. This is stomping time. Even without the Fire Ban, it's not too important with the stomp. What's important is just getting up there and going in. Here we go. Boom. Down goes 1, down goes 2. 1 survived. And, oh geez, that was a really scary run there. Gonna be fine, though. Boom, Chimera down. And that'll do, phase 2. No, 10 health, are you kidding? And that gave enough time for another golem to spawn in. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, another golem spawns in. And this one's just gonna die really easily from the shotgun. An exploder spawns in. Man, don't you hate it when this happens in phase 2? You're just trying to get to the Mithrix fight. You're trying to time your Diablo strikes or whatever it might be, and these stupid idiots just keep spawning in. Another one spawns in. Can they at least just all spawn at once if they're gonna spawn in? Come on. Oh my god. Okay, it should be it. Okay, that's it. No more random exploders. They do stop spawning after a while, no matter what, but oh my god, when you're just trying to play it quick, trying to go in and out, you know. There's a good hit on Mithrix. Get some value on this. Lambs. Yeah, no crowbar though. So we don't get that initial giga chunk. Right, gonna have to be a double stomp. Here we go. That was a really good height on that one. And the Fire Band even in there as well. A few ticks getting off. Brings Mithrix to pizza time. We'll see how Disturby can handle pizza. And there's slice 1, there's slice 2. Oh geez. Somehow survives that. And is gonna be okay. You gotta act fast, right? Not the most comfortable with pizza here. Waited for Mithrix's pizza to end before thinking about dealing damage. It's just only using the application of damage through the stompers. Not really using the shotgun or anything else, but I mean, it's still on pace as long as no death happens. As long as no death happens, eats a slice of pizza. Oh god, look out, look out. You cannot eat that slice or you are in deep trouble. I think you'll have like 1 minute to do phase 3 and 4 if you take a death at this point. Here we go, though. Takes care of the ads. Mithrix is spared, though. Loses spaces. Loses spaces. Okay, Mithrix went back up. Did not go for a hammer swipe. Very good. Gonna go for a lightning. Mithrix down to 50,000 health, but jumps up in the air. Okay, it's very fortunate there not to take damage. It's just gonna dodge the pizzas. Pizza is scary. Starts to feel a little confident towards the end, though. As Mithrix does as well. Goes for a swipe. We'll be able to pull off this stomp. Is it going to be a good one? Is it going to be a bad one? It's another bad one. Oh, but something happens. Mithrix walks into the Fire Band at the last second. Very good. Down to 30,000 health. Eats from the Shockwave. Eats one of the slam shockwaves. Call it that. It's the Denny's Grand Slam. And almost eats a slice of pizza. Again, definitely ate that one. But again, safer spaces, just doing its job. Very cool. Disturby's run into the ramp. We'll have time for one stomp. Hopefully it hits Mithrix. Oh, that is a nice stomp. And that is going to be phase 3 as we enter phase 4 here for Disturby. Let's go. Let's go. Want to shoot before... Yeah, there you go. Lightning from behind. Mithrix goes for the slam. There's another shot. Ooh, definitely don't get fire banded. Okay, fire band's gone. Even if you get hit by an orb, you're gonna be fine. Spaces comes back. And that's dead Mithrix. Boom. Disturby's going to be able to finish. It's going to be able to finish its loadout, get that end the leaderboards. Very nice job. Well done. Even gets a little bit of interstellar desk plant at the end there. Nice. Takes the best portal and is on the way to the ship. Hell yeah. Goji sweep, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, next loadout we have is default roll Mando. Uh-oh. Alright, just let yourself fall. You don't take fall damage with stompers. There you go. Easy. Just don't +5 on ship. Even if you die on the ship, it's fine. You just have to kill Mithrix before the timer goes out. Because I'm not going to DNF someone for charging the ship. Because that would just be weird. We got about maybe like 30 seconds. What are some things to think about here? For the second part, for loadout 2, for all these racers here. For one, Disturby had 2 deaths, Liam had 1. If Disturby can try and complete loadout number 2 and not die, and just hope that Liam maybe takes a death or 2, right? That's a way to get a point. Both these racers, again, still trying to qualify for the tournament. Oh, Disturby, that's not a good spot to hide in. You're going to get shot through walls. As funny as it looks, it is not a safe spot. Oh, but 99%. Maybe it is safe this time. Good to go. Roll Mando is rough if you're trying to make up points towards the other pools. I think it's the exact opposite. If you're someone who's trying to make up for points, if you're someone who's trying to climb the leaderboard, this is a perfect loadout to get double bonus points. There's a lot of variance, a lot of variety here in a loadout like this for Commando. You got to play it safe, you got to play it smart, but if you know what you're doing and you can do it well, this is a perfect opportunity here, regardless of skill. We've seen some of the best racers take easily 6 deaths in a loadout like this. Alright, that's half an hour. Which is more than enough time to be able to make up and try and have something good happen. Just find stoppers in the corner, stage 1. Yeah! Starby did it once this loadout. She could do it again. Easy. Alright. Let's see the final time here before we move on to loadout 2. So he left grateful for his luck. Yes. Okay. Oh, 70 minutes, 46 seconds. Loadout number 2. Commando. Not your typical slide Mando. Not your Commando with the default everything, though. No, it's roll Commando, but we've got the phase blast, and we got grenades. So, pretty aggressive of a Commando. We immediately see Goji actually going for the blue orb. I advise something like that. You spawn at a spot where you can do that. Goji already knows what they've signed up for. Or maybe not what they've signed up for, but what they've been handed. And that is probably one of the most difficult loadouts in the game. Right, at least has the frag grenade for early AoE damage. Right, could be a little bit worse. But you're gonna need some help, and the blue portal's gonna be perfect. You take 1 minute, but you have like a 1 in 4 chance of finding something just game-changing. Really, really good. And immediately we see some different items picked up. We see a teddy bear on Goji. We see Big D getting a gasoline. There was I believe a soldier syringe on Liam. I don't think that was from the same tri-shop. Then we got a Disturby here with nothing so far. That could change. I think, no, that was someone else. I believe Goji and Disturby didn't, they forgot to change the skins at all. They have identical skins. Look at that. Carbon copies. Only one will win. Disturby has a watch. That's good. Goji takes one as well. I don't know if I would take the watch. The focus crystal's guaranteed damage up close, and you have phase blast, and you have the grenades. Which I guess the grenades you're not going to take advantage too much of that, but ooh, razor wire and gasoline. Bigdy's got good AOE damage going as he walks backwards into a Lemurian overloading orb. Ouch. -3 curse. There's a large chest next to Disturby. I believe that's the razor wire. Sticky bomb found for Liam. Liam with a tiny bit of a proc chain off the soldier syringe into Sticky. We'll be able to get slightly more of those. Yeah, there we go. Razor wire on Disturby. I feel like the only person that would be really comfy with activating TP at this point would probably be Bigdy. Ooh, Elixir over by the razor wire as well. That's something that Bigdy missed. I like that, like that. Definitely looking better than some of the other Commando loadouts. We'll see. I think it always varies. You never know. You never know with these. This could be a 30-minute run or a 3-hour run. Even with the gasoline, right? Things I'm thinking of right now, there's no movement speed. No movement speed yet. Goji gets the gasoline, has the watch and elixir. I like Goji's the most. Goji in almost the same amount of time, maybe like 20 seconds slower, is going to be where Bigdy's at. Except there's a teddy bear, right? 14% chance not to take damage, and the elixir to protect the watch. Right? No healing, no medi drones, no slugs, no bungas, not even something like a monster tooth or a leeching seed. But that elixir is going to be a good protection. We'll see. Bigdy is backing up. There is a medi drone that you can get after the end of stage TP, stage 1 TP. And I'm actually glad that that wasn't picked up yet for any of the racers here. Oh wait, Liam actually has it. Don't want to lose that to the Vagrant, otherwise you're going to be really poor or without a drone. And healing drones, I mean, I know Goji was just talking about it in the most recent Risk of Resources race. As ATG is the item, but as Goji was saying, healing drones make some of the largest differences in a run. They distract big enemies, they distract things like bells and greater wisps, and even things like elders. It's as they put it, it is the fly in the room. It's the little gnat that Mithrix and every other big creature just wants dead for some reason. It's not even doing anything, it's just healing you a tiny bit. But they will go out of their way to shed blood on it. So Goji says, Goji 401, Goji swag. If you got that emote, use it now. Yeah, there's the healing drone. ATG. Oh, man, that's going to be good for Liam, perhaps, and for Disturby, both with that sticky bomb. If they can survive and hold on to their watch and their elixir, that's good for building up power, something that Commando really needs. Which chest was the glass in? Yeah, that was the try shop. Bigdy now done with the TP, gets the healing drone. There's a chance try next to the TP. If you go up, it eventually gives you a bandolier. Something that Liam went for. As Liam is out in the open, it does in just the nick of time, make it into cover. Has a healing drone, has a gunner drone, but here comes Wandering Vagrant round 2. Is not about to level up, thankfully, but so many enemies in that cover, so many beetles, so many Lemurians, thankfully none of them elite, and that's going to be a dead Vagrant. Let's go. I feel like if this was week 1 of the hosting league, we would be seeing like 20 deaths right there. These racers are getting adjusted, they're getting used to all sorts of crazy situations. They've all been practicing a lot. And that practice is just being shown right there. Hold on. We'll see if Disturby can handle it. The other racers got by. We know Disturby last loadout, even with the stoppers, did take that double death to those enemies over in Aphelion early on. We'll see what happens this time. That razor wire, though, every time those wisps shoot, right, those enemies are, right, those little ads have been kind of harassing her throughout these races. That might change with that razor wire, taking tiny bits of damage, just annihilating every wisp, every Lemurian. Not going to be too much of a concern. Trying to throw the grenades on the Vagrant, but they're just kind of bouncing off. And very parallel of a situation, both moving on to stage 2. Goji opting not to go through the blue portal, and can you really blame them? The only thing that could happen is there could be something really, really good. Some people say it's good to kind of cycle through blue portals. Personally, I'm more on the page of just sticking to going through a blue portal if you feel like you can actually get something, because that could be a really good something that everyone else is going to be able to have access to later on. Everyone else except for you. Right? You don't want to be the one person not to get the good stuff. It's nice when you're the only person that gets the good stuff, but if it's 3 people getting good versus you getting only bad, or like you getting good and they all get bad, right? That's 3 people get an advantage over you. What are other things, other paths you can find down the line? And you just have to spend time to cycle. Disturby playing it really safe here. Disturby with only one without the gasoline, although I actually take that back. Liam also did not pick up the gasoline or find it. I think Liam picked up the syringe instead. In that tri-shop. That tri-shop just to the left of Disturby, the one that has the gasoline in it. Look at all those Lemurians and beetles. Getting some grenade usage there. Takes care of all of them. Everyone else, though, on stage 2 finding a teddy bear is Big D, now at 2. I think we've seen some really good value from teddy bear in the past. I remember I had a run that had like... God, I was playing it on last Friday. I probably blocked an enemy's shot like... I swear, I only had 2. It felt like it was a 50% block rate. Because there was only like 1 time I actually got hit, it felt like. By the way, radar scanners found on Goji. This was recorded before the update, so that's why you're not seeing any item bags or anything weird like that. The item is still bugged, sadly. But, you know, here's just a little snapshot in the past of a time where it was still a somewhat more accurate of a radar. Right, the 5G waves hadn't kicked in yet. It made it all inaccurate. And Disturby done with done with all the enemies, but gonna be done with TP without dying, not bad. Could have a lot of money that's gonna be transferred though. Really good to see that though. Deathless. Deathless is good. Radar scanner on Liam. Liam finds the equipment. There's an egg. Boom. Plus 1 egg for Liam. And stage 2 TP boss item is regen scrap. I don't think there was any green printers for that to be used. But if there is an abundance of really bad greens later down the line, maybe you might be able to use a scrapper, save an item. Could be cool. I mean, Goji just has so many more items. Has the harpoon, has the... What is that? Focus crystal? Is there anything that Big D has? Oh, Big D has the Warhorn, but I believe that Warhorn is on this stage. You find it on stage 2, something that Big D could get after, or Goji could get after TP. Serby, by the way, still looting a little bit, gets the gasoline, thankfully. Finds the gunner drone. Very helpful. Really just not looking forward to the future stages. I think that's just about a full loot. A full-on full loot for Disturby. 9 items stage 1. Not bad for Titanic planes. But none of them are movement speed. Not one bit. Nope. Disturby's really not looking forward, just spending a lot of time, like, and I've been in this situation a lot when I've full loot. Like, oh man, did I miss an item? Did I miss something? Did I check up in this nook? Did I check up in this cranny? I mean, it happened for Disturby last run. Was able to get head stompers. We'll see if that happens this time. Ooh, there is a scrapper. Could use that on stage 1, maybe to scrap up maybe that bandolier, maybe that left on Daisy. You get the regen scrap on stage 2. You're up at 3 green scrap then. Could be good. Alright, you got the healing drum for healing. Goji found the Warhorn. Rose Buckler, though, for Big D. That's good. Warhorn also for Liam there. As Liam, you know, we're seeing a similar pattern with Liam kind of being in his own territory with Goji and Big D kind of neck and neck, and then Disturby just a bit behind Liam. Very similar pattern. The comfortability. Right, we see that Big D and Goji like to push themselves a little bit harder. A little bit more. Personally, I'd like to see Disturby hit a blue portal if possible. I don't know how accessible it is. Maybe if she finds the egg, can get that. Right, having 3 green scrap walking in. Maybe might not know about the regen scrap yet, but who knows what could be in there. And we do know that Disturby has gone for blue portals in the past. If there's a... Oh, that's good. That's good. Up in the top right. Goji, finding a Mocha Printer. That's something you want to pretty much go all into. Maybe keep the watch if you keep the watch as your last item. Maybe you stop here. You've only got damage items. Nope, going all in. 45% more attack speed and what would that be? 42% more movement speed? Not bad. Right, you lose the 40% damage, but you're shooting faster, and you're Commando, where shooting faster actually does something. Needs more ATGs coming out as well. And when you're shooting faster, I mean, Big D's gonna wish that he found that Mocha Printer sooner rather than later. Unless Big D walked right past it, right? Has the bleed now. That bleed dagger at the end of the line? The end of the line that Goji's about to get to? That's gonna be nice. So, yeah, it's easy. You go all in on the... Oh, Goji already found this. Yeah. You want to keep that bleed. Boom. Keeps the bleed. Is going to get rid of the elixir. That's smart. The difference between 3.5 to 4 speed items is actually a lot. Big D, though, finding an alternate speed item, goes for a red whip. Cannot really use that when you're shooting, but it's still good for getting it from point A to point B. All around, not bad. There's a repulsion armor plate printer. If someone went into a scrapper a little bit more. Oh, Disturby. Oh god, that's a lot of Lemurian. That's a lot of Lemurian. 1 fireball and you're trouble. Already lost the elixir, already lost the watch. I wasn't even paying attention there. And Disturby's in a lot of trouble. Oh, already has a death even. That was from a straight up death. Might be a double death here soon. Definitely not good for someone who's trying to at least get in 3rd place to try and sneak into that wild card round. Oh boy. Gets another tougher times. Really wished maybe could have had that a little bit sooner. Unfortunately not the case, and we'll see what happens for our bottom racers here, as they both now just have 2 tougher times. I believe there's 3 now that can be found then. Oh my god, Big D. Just 1 shot away from losing that watch. Medkit kicks in, but no! That's going to be a death as the oil orbs just come in. The pots just take out Big D. +5. Which is good if you're Disturby. You want to hope the... It's kind of messed up, but if you're a racer and you are watching this in real time, you had that death, you want everyone else to suffer and be as miserable as you are. And for that, I mean, Big D had a pretty good build going with the watch, with the ATG, the war horn, the bleed, and now, I mean, might even take a second death here. Might even roll into these, yeah. As these Doom Striders are out of sync, only alive thanks to the, perhaps because of the Rose Buckler. Medkit helping out a little bit as well, as these Wisps are harassing and give 18 health back after the damage is dealt. Double Teddy Bear also a huge save. Just all these tiny little defensive and healing items keeping Big D alive. Meanwhile, Goji who, while yes, Goji did take some damage, I mean, high attack speed, you've got that bleed, you've got the Warhorn with your egg, I mean, that's just really going to be good for stacking up a lot of damage really quick, as Liam, one of two racers who hadn't died yet, finds another ATG, as did Disturby. But Liam's done with the stage 2 TP. Disturby has the death, has to do the TP still. Oh boy. You're feeling kind of good right now if you're Liam. Liam also still trying to fight and find his way back into the leaderboard. To find back into the wild card. Lost it after week 3. Right, still having 3 races to go. Things are starting to pick up, right? You gotta try and do what you can. And you've already got 1 point, but why settle for 3rd? 3rd place is gonna be okay-ish and all for Liam, but why not go further? Why not go beyond? You do really good here, and I mean, Big D's already at a death. Is kind of struggling here. Can find a way to get double points in here. Could find a way to maybe even beat Goji, who doesn't have that ATG. Now, you want to try and go for a similar strat as Goji, though. You definitely want to go into that Mocha Printer. You definitely want to hold off on picking up the bleed. And yeah, even that repulsion at the end is going to be good. It looks good. That Mocha Printer looks real good. It's movement speed. I mean, what are you going to print away? Your teddy bears? There it is. There's the bleed dagger. Don't go for the bleed yet. Don't pick it up. Don't pick it up. No, don't try it. Give in to the mochas. That watch is going to break anyway. Oh, man. Yeah, that Mocha Printer is just huge. It's something you definitely have to go into. But Liam just sees the tri-tip and sees the immediate short-term effects. It's like that one test that you're supposed to do to your kids where it's like, you give them a marshmallow and tell them if they can hold on to it for a little bit, you give them a second marshmallow, which, like, apparently somehow indicates IQ. Which, I mean, what if I just want the one marshmallow, right? If I have 2 marshmallows, I'm just going to eat both of them instantly. Get the same gratification. But apparently that you're supposed to, like, do that, and then they get the 2, and it's like, it teaches them something about money, and I don't know. As Big D takes a second death, dealing with these Dune Striders at the 99% mark on the TP, just really not happy right now. And takes a breather, takes a minute. But Goji took a death on stage 5, even with those 7 mochas, even with the repulsion and everything. This is Liam's time to shine, the only person who hasn't died yet. But I just feel like even with that bleed dagger, you kind of gotta... I mean, I don't know if there's a scrapper at some point on the stage. You gotta go all in. Siren is stage 5. If Sirens was stage 5, something is really wrong. That should be stage 4. Disturby now activating TP with 4 green scrap in hand. Does not have the blue portal active, though. Oh boy. Did I say stage 5? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. That's not important. What's important right now is that Liam has 2 ATGs, has 0 deaths, and Goji hasn't even activated the TP and is struggling. Ish. You know who else is definitely struggling, though, is poor Disturby there. Dealing with double golems, gets a block, though. Double Teddy, saving the day. Well, for what? We'll see. There's still a whole other Titan to get through, and here comes this Glacial Lemurian. Very intimidating, very powerful aura coming from it. Double healing drone doing their job. Crowbar is found for Big D after the TP, but again, you gotta go for those mochas. Come on. I'm cheering for everyone here. I mean, even for Goji. He's definitely the favorite and not the underdog, but you want Goji to do good at the same time. You want everyone to do good. If you're not a racer. If you're a racer, you want everyone else to do bad except you. But in this situation here, I mean, for Goji needs to do really good. Goji needs to keep up raw points, right? Has that advantage over K right now. I believe upcoming races... are going to get a little more tough for Goji, but this is the time. This is the chance. With Ruddy taking 2 losses now, the second seed has opened up a lot, and if Goji can do well, might be able to swoop in and take it. We don't know what has happened with K yet, as we'll find out after this race, but that is something that... Oh my god, the Disturby's at 20 health. How did she live? Look out, straight line. That's a little scary. Here comes the Stone Titan laser and Fist. Yeah, the double bye week could be Goji's to take for the moment. This is definitely a building block for something much more, and this race definitely matters. Big time. As the TP is started and is going through, right? Goji only with the 1 ATG. Look how many enemies are building up. That is terrifying. Big D never went in. Big D did get the blue orb, though. Big D knows that this situation is getting really bad. Blue orb is going to be important. Disturby knows that 250 curse is really cool on Commando. Having done the TP boss, having done everything, hopefully you don't die if you're Disturby. That is the most curse I've seen on Commando in a long time. Oh my god. 3rd tougher times now. Oh boy. Yeah, we see 2 blazing brass contraptions on Big D's screen right now, by the way. Right, no pre-spawn, vagrants, or magma worms, or anything like that. You definitely don't want to stay here too long to the point where the worship unit kicks in, but you gotta try and find a way to kill some enemies on Siren's Call, to try and get a couple chests, to try and find something that's gonna work for your build. And oh my god, that's a lot of jellies. That's a roll off a cliff. Take some fall damage for Big D there. But here comes Liam. Kind of moment of truth moment for Liam, activating the TP at the 23-minute mark of Stage 3. Does have the double ATG. If lucky, could get a missile to come out of a grenade proc. That could be huge. That could be insane. Yo, Cap, thank you so much for the raid. Hope things went well for you. And welcome in, Raiders. We still got plenty of racing to go here in the hosting league. Want some info, exclamation mark HL1. Got you covered. But we're here in Loadout 2. Between these 4 racers, Big D, Goji, Disturby, and Liam, and it's a copium commando. There's Roll, there's Siren's Call, there's Jelly, or there's Larva, and there's not a whole lot of movement speed aside from a Mocha printer again that Goji went into. We'll see if some of the racers down at the bottom enter or end up finding it and going into it. But it's definitely something that they're gonna want. That's for sure. As Liam's getting kind of low on health, Big D about to take his 3rd death. Goji also low. The only person not low on health right now is Disturby. This is terrifying for Goji. Oh my god. I mean, that is like 1/4 of the damage dealt, and there's a death. Whether it was from one of the orbs, from the vagrants, or just a jellyfish. Something took out Goji, now standing at 2 deaths. Does not have the blue orb for after TP. And is trying to figure out, how do you do this? Do you just try to charge the TP to 99%? You kind of have to. You gotta do it in a fast and safe manner. Ooh. But Liam there, the only one deathless still, loses the watch. Loses the elixir. Does not die, though. But you gotta be careful. You gotta look out for those orbs. You gotta look out for those imps. You gotta look out for everything. And you gotta charge the TP. Otherwise, all these enemies that are coming in at the 28-minute mark. I mean, Liam thankfully found the gasoline down the line eventually. But I mean, things are looking not good. That Dune Strider's at full health. It's walking backwards into a lot of shots. You see Lepton value for Goji gets up a little bit more health. Right, doesn't have any healing drones and has no other source of healing aside from those. Linda, thank you for the raid as well. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. And again, welcome in, Raiders. We're here the second loadout of the hosting league. between Big D, between Goji, Disturby, and Liam, all who are dealing with a pretty cope commando run, where movement speed's hard to get, AoE damage is just a gasoline, and not much else. I guess there's a will-o-wisp. But it's kind of terrifying. We're seeing a lot of deaths. 2 on Goji. We got 3 on Big D. 1 on Disturby. Disturby, who went into the Mochas. Oh my god, someone did it. Someone did it, but can Disturby find the bleed? I don't know if she went all the way back. Perhaps we might see a situation where Disturby just going for the full loot strat might pay off. As Liam finishes off the other Dune Strider, don't want to get taken out by those Beetle Guards. Get some value off that volcanic egg. Sees the mending enemy, goes for the mending enemy, but gets distracted, and there goes another Sunder of the Beetle Guard. Oh god. Jeez, this is intense. What else is intense is Big D, who's starting to acquire a mass of enemies. Finds a goat hoof, thankfully. But that's a lot of enemies that you can't really deal with that well. And oh no! Liam, the only one deathless, takes a death at the 70% mark right before everything was going to be taken out. Was just that close. Was just a few seconds away from finishing everything off. It's not able to get it. And we'll have to deal with, I mean, not only the loss of the watch, not only the loss of the elixir, but a loss of a whole lot else. 5 minutes. I mean, who knows how many more times Goji's going to die. Is at 99% on the TP, could start dealing with this horde. Does have a gasoline, does have a will-o-wisp, is technically able to slowly pick away at the boss and pick away at the horde. I mean, Big D's only getting started, though. Ooh, Disturby found the bleed. You're gonna want that. Walks in, goes for it, takes it. Picks it up, boom. And if everyone's build right here, I like Disturby's the most. I'm gonna be honest. Double ATG, you've got 8 Mochas, you've got bleed. Maybe missing a couple damage items, but those are for the future. And yeah, I mean, say what you want, Goji's pretty much got this under control. Without any other enemies spawning in, as I say that, the larva kick up. Even with 7 Mochas, you don't have slide, you can't just run away from them. Okay, well, hopefully that doesn't happen again to Goji, but I still think they're in a pretty safe spot. Right, enemies can't spawn in, there's no more random larvas popping out of the ground that just instantly kill you, and there's nothing you can do to run away from them. Gets a lot of missiles coming out there. Did Liam go for blue portal? No. Did not. There's an you spawn right next to the newt here on stage 4. I still like what Big D went and did. Big D just went and hit it. Who knows what that item could be in there? But whatever it is, it's going to be pretty good and something that you might want to consider going for. So who knows how many deaths are going to happen here on stage 4 for Liam, as immediately, just seconds in after all that fighting, immediately takes a hit from this blazing brass contraption. There was 2 of them that spawned in for Big D, and maybe even more for Liam, who got in here a lot later. And Disturby got chased down by a Wisp, down by a Templar, even with that build, right? Hasn't even activated the stage 3 TP. And if you are to activate that stage 3 TP, I mean, even my full loot runs are faster than that. 30 minutes in? Oh boy. That's going to be a lot to deal with those Dune Striders. Might see 3 of them. And Disturby is just starting to panic at that 3 death mark. Just goes in with the volcanic egg. And we might start to see a lot of deaths here, down in the bottom left. But while that's happening, while Disturby's at 4, Big D's at 5. And while Big D's at 5, we see 3 on Liam. Goji, right? Someone who took 2 deaths, and we thought that was kind of a big deal. I mean, with how cope this run is, 2 deaths is good. 2 deaths is great. It's something you gotta fight for. You gotta just fight to continue. This run is not really I mean, I don't even think I know a single racer who would get through this without dying. I just don't see it. It's tough. It's hard to pull off. And Goji's doing it though. Right, going in Giga Cope, it almost looks like a Raydance circa 2022 stream, as all those shots from that Elder just hit Goji, and Goji tries to deal some damage to that Vagrant, has all the enemies stuck up there, has the opportunity to try and get some in. You gotta be careful, standing near walls and stuff is scary. As, let's see, Big D found a Quail before TP. I didn't realize that. Oh, accidentally summoned the worship unit, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. If your situation wasn't bad enough and you're Big D, it's really bad now. That worship unit's just going to sit there. Now, the good news is it's not half dead. The second it's half dead, you're in deep trouble. But what's even worse is that you can't just try to do a Vagrant skip, or a worship unit skip. You can't try to use the egg and try and game the system to get yourself a red. Instead, you roll into walls and bridges and larva land on you. Yikes. There we go. So what good outcomes are there right now? I feel like the Disturby still has the right loadout. It just so far behind is really gonna struggle with that TP and all those deaths on top. Finds the Red Whip printer. Could take as many as she wants. Opts to just take the one and walk away. Rightfully so. We see, yeah, I mean, Goji took 2 deaths when things weren't that bad, but you know what's good about what Goji did? Is, yeah, as Big D takes death number 6, Disturby death number 5. Big D's only 36% done with the TP. Goji might take death number 3 right here. Nope, it's fine. Even if Goji takes another death, I mean, I would consider this a win of a TP event. Yeah, there it is. Vulture takes them out. But you know what's... That's fine. 3 deaths. Your TP's at 99. The Vagrant's almost dead. It sucks that extra death happened to you, but... Let's see what this item is. Were they hitting Newt? Feels like a run to do it. Goji hit Newt stage 1. Big D hit Newt stage 4. And that's all we've seen. But I definitely would have hit it more, if possible. There was a lot of green scrap. Like, the Disturby had a good chance. I feel like it's really awkward to try and find it. And, you know, the sentiment is that you just have to try and go fast. You gotta play fast. You don't have time for Newt searching, and especially when you don't find the egg until stage 2, midway through the stage. Right, you want to try and speed things up a bit. You've got ATGs, you've got gasoline. Things are looking not too bad. It's a Commando run, but it's Roll Commando. And Roll Commando, it's like Commando. I mean, 2 very different beasts to tame. As we're seeing deaths all over the place on all screens. Some of the items for Goji after finishing TP gets a ukulele, I believe from the boss. There's a Warhorn, a Harvester's Scythe, a Squid Polyp. The only things I really like there are the Scythe and the uke. Warhorn going from 1 to 2 is kind of okayish, but not that good. There's an equipment barrel in the corner of the map. It gives an F&P. You almost wonder if you're Goji and you have a Will-O-Wisp, do you go for that? I don't know. Disturby now to 11 deaths, just death spiral here. Even with that good of a run, just so much building up, and it's just so hard to focus up and deal with all that sometimes you just focus so much of that mental elsewhere, right? Instead of, you know, how can I dodge this enemy and survive and make it through the TP without dying? It's, can I just get this thing dead and over with already? Maybe I could start thinking later, but right now I'm gonna go right in head first into the sucking Doomstrider, something you never want to do, something that Disturby wouldn't do. But when you're at 13 deaths, suddenly it feels like going from 12 to 13 isn't that much. It's actually in reality really huge. You want to try and hold on to as many as possible. But again, I mean, you can only hold on to that mental fortitude for so long. There's a remote caffeinator. It was a remote caffeinator right now. I'm not looking at a royal capacitor and calling it the remote capacitor or the royal caffeinator. Right? Not seeing any of that. That's what it was. Do you take it? There's no fireworks. I don't see on anyone. All you get are some polyps. So I would say no. Even at 5 deaths, Liam still hasn't activated TP. Oh my god. That's terrifying. Disturby's Prime Disputed. Disputed Prime. If you thought Disputed was bad, take a look on YouTube in about a week. I've got one for you. Yeah, Liam at 6 deaths now. Again, Liam's build was the greatest walking in, or greatest potential, right? So many white items for potential for scrap. Infusion found for both Liam and Goji at the same time. It almost feels like they're on pretty similar ground until you realize that Liam again hasn't activated TP. And none of these racers want to move on. I mean, Goji's probably thinking back, oh man, why didn't I hit Newt? All these greens suck. I mean, you look at some of them, you see the ATG, you see the ukulele, the war horns, and I mean, what is everything else? Double left on, you've got a harpoon, you got a bandolier. The red web's nice, but double infusion. Single will-o-wisp I usually hate on and talk shit towards, but sorry, YouTube. Man, I was doing so good. I get one. Can I get one every 2 hours? Is that okay, YouTube? Come on, Disturby. Hit the newt. Nope. Runs past. At 20 deaths, makes it to stage 4 at least. Goji goes for an equipment drone with FMP. Big D's at 86% on TP charge. Wandering Vagrants, though, I mean, still really healthy. And they're probably constantly gaining health from all the times that they're passing by all the mending elites. That's something you don't really have to think about when you're coping pre-DLC, right? If a boss enemy takes damage, it stays damaged. Goshi's just thinking about all the ways not to +5 on the next stage. You could get to stage 5 and immediately, like, everything's in Giga God. And you see, like, these Giga printers, like... Ooh. If you're Goji, do you try to go for a worship unit skip? Right, with the egg? You could try for that, if you have available eggs. I think it's worth a shot. But Goji doesn't. That's fine. Epic Siren's Call moment. Disturby just +5. I mean, Disturby has more +5s than... Wait for it. Wait for it. Has more +5s than I've had years of life. As of... Wait for it. Okay, it might be coming for a little. It's a lot of deaths. I'll just say that, right? You can see Disturby aging in real time from all those +5s. And it's just going to keep happening, right? After about the 7th, or like, you know, 20th, 30th death, eventually it just comes down to, you know, who isn't going to tilt. Because the one that doesn't tilt, the one that opts to go for a Raymond, or not, just tries to cope the enemies, right? Cope strat is good. This cope strat is what makes runs like this, where the more you just try to stick to surviving and going as fast as you can, to suddenly you can slowly push the tide It's a very strong current, but eventually, you know, with enough time and enough not dying and just circling the enemies and making sure they're on the other side of the map and charging the TP and taking them down one by one, you're eventually going to get more and more items, as there's death number 8 there for Liam. Does enemy scale level scale with +5s? No, but it used to. Back in the day, there was, I believe, the very first version of the Gauntlet Race mod. Stages weren't seeded, first off. They were the same stages, though. And the reason for that was so that racers could still have chat. This was incredibly unfair, as certain racers, aka I, would end up finding head stompers in every run. The other racers did not. The other racers had Giga Cope. So then they're like, okay, well, let's change that. And they're like, okay, that's cool. But then what ended up happening is they still had the enemies, or the enemies would scale as you would die. And we immediately realized how bad of a concept that was, because you look at someone like Disturby, right? 27 deaths, right? More deaths, 28 now. More deaths than there are letters in the alphabet. And, I mean, if you thought that's bad, like, you can barely see the health go down, it was even less. And poor, I think it was Corny. Corny was in an infinite death loop, and it wasn't even from tilt. It was just, there was literally nothing that could be done. Wait for Zai contract stage 5. I would, but oh boy. Okay, Goji just got something really nice as Big D's on death number 10. Right, even with 3 deaths, probably not feeling the best, taking it real slow, it's a good idea to do that. And you'll see why. As there's going to be a TP event, we don't know what it's going to be. Goji doesn't know what it's going to be. Notice how Goji isn't just immediately activating TP and is playing it safe. Oh, there is a Zai on the map. Oh boy. At least the Void set can help with that. That'll help things out a bit. That's not even the worship unit for Liam. That's just a natural spawning Solus. Oh man. Poor Liam, trying to charge the TP, at least playing sort of a cope strat at 10 deaths, right? Is still trying to get through, trying to do his best, is at that one point. Don't want to... Right, so everyone else could be at 30, 40, 50 deaths right now, if you're someone like Liam. You don't know how much they've given up. If you're someone like Big D. Big D and Liam actually really neck and neck right now. They're going to need Goji to throw a bit, but if Goji ends up throwing, which, well, they haven't. The only way I would say Goji has thrown is they didn't activate the Newt on stage 4, which I feel like would have been a really smart play, especially given how bad it was. Who knows what could be in there? We might get to see what it is if Big D can get out of this TP. Oh, Goji taking a death. Oh no. And activates TP. Never found another bleed. But it's Grandparent. Okay, that's good. Grandparents spawn, I believe, 40% of the time as the boss on stage 5. Maybe slightly more because of the times that you get Wandering Vagrant. Or not Vagrant. Not Wandering Vagrant. You end up getting Overloading Worm, and then it doesn't spawn, so it picks another random enemy. Oftentimes that random enemy is Grandparent. Oh, very nice for the Mending Parents to spawn in, though. That's great. That's annoying. Hopefully that doesn't affect them too much. We're trying to get this Grandparent down to half health really quick. Now, I wonder how you play this TP event. Look at all those Mending enemies. A lot of Mending Wisps, a couple of Mending Bells. Do you just get the Grandparent down to half health and then just let it do its thing and like sneak bits and pieces of charge time? Or do you just like full on cope, kill the Grandparent, let it kill everything once, and call it at that? I don't know. Where's the streaming, or is it Discord? Oh, it's Discord pre-recorded. Nobody has seen this except for the racers and the referee that recorded this. The reason why we do it this way is so that, you know, when there's 28 different racers, as Goji takes a 5th death, oh man, from all over the world, all different time schedules, and there's got to be a race every week. It's pretty hard to get 4 people, different people every single week. We have 7 races across 28 racers every week, and it's hard to schedule them. And I'm not always on streaming at like 4 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday or something. So this is kind of the solution we went with. It's less of a live and more of a pre-recorded setup. And that way also, if there's any like technical difficulties, we can just like skip ahead. It's really nice. It's like if someone's PC crashes or something, we can just pause everybody's game and then wait for it. It's all cool. What's the record for most deaths in a race? I believe that was week 1. And we had, I mean, most deaths in a race and completing a run, or most deaths in a race and then having to concede, I think are 2 different things. Most deaths with the completion, I think it's in the 30s. But that was just because one of the racers, I think it was like in the upper 20s or something. And they just kept like death looping through Mithrix and ended up completing before first time was able to get in. And that's about as much as I can say. Outside of this league, I think there might have been someone who had like 30-some deaths. I forget if it was that one race where Crayon had the Elder stuck in the TP or not. Oh my god. You look at the Disturby screen, see the, not the worship unit, but the Solus is like pogging out. Wait, do you just get stuck there? What is this rock? Oh jeez, okay. That is the most spinning I've ever seen from one of those. Oh man. How's everyone's deaths doing anyway? Big D slowed down a lot on deaths, is at 99% on the TP charge, is just slowly taking down all the enemies before even thinking about the worship unit or thinking about the vagrants, because there's mending. Right, and with the more enemies, it makes it kind of more tough to get in there. Still has a huge horde of enemies to deal with. Goji's at 5 deaths, still has the grandparent to deal with. It's just trying to... I believe Goji's just using the grandparent to kill enemies. Right, still has to deal with the parents and any enemies that kind of hide from the Shungite, but... Oh god, might die again. That grandparent son's going to do more damage than you really can with your guns at any point. If it dies, then the build-up's just going to happen fast. So you want to try and get that 99%. Here, Goji. It doesn't help when parents teleport in front of you. Thank you, game. Liam also only at 10 deaths. Both Liam and Big D are at 99%, pretty much on equal footing. Liam with just a 5-minute advantage, which might change with this volcanic egg we're about to find out. Running headfirst with egg isn't always the most optimal or smart idea, but it's definitely a nice change to see the number go down on the enemies. The rule for bonus makes sense. I've never seen a run this difficult for the runners. We don't have that rule in place here in the hosting league, because, I mean, you got to look at it this way. Goji is doing so much to fight for that lead, right? Each death is really important. You got to try to not die. I think maybe in Risk of Resources, where it's more of a show match, where it's more about the flashy, like, 20-minute runs and stuff, I think that's just kind of what they're going for. They're trying to weigh more towards, or way away from the cope loadouts and way more towards, 17-minute loaders and things of the sort, which is completely fine. I get their reasoning. I think it's also, like, if someone performs really, really well in a loadout like this, Like, could you imagine if someone in this Commando loadout died once? And it's like, oh, sorry, no bonus points, you know? So then the question is, like, where's the medium? Where's the middle ground for a situation like that? You want to reward someone for doing exceptionally well, but you don't want to have someone, you know, getting 4 points or something like that with 5 or 6 deaths. And it's something I'm trying to figure out. It's something that, you know, this whole new rules, it's very much a new concept, and we'll see what happens from it. I'm still waiting to see how I feel, but as of now, we're still sticking with the old rules and standards. Yeah, we are using the same mod as Risk of Resources, but we are not affiliated with them. If that makes sense. Yo, thanks for the raid, Goji. You're just in time to watch the remaining run of Commando, your favorite survivor. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this race, by the way, this specific one, had to be sent to me in 2 different emails because it was so large of a file. What if we'll get to 1,000 minutes down the bottom left? Maybe. Big D and Liam are just trying to find a way to cope through. So. There's that overloading Vulture that's just kind of been harassing for a long time. Yeah, 17 gigabyte. Yep, this is the one. But while Goji's done with his stage 5 TP, right, and just slowly going through, again, Goji's strategy, very, very smart, something you want to do in a race, charge, or even not in a race, but like if you're getting out, like spawned by enemies, just try to get that TP to charge 99% as safely and as quickly as possible. Then you could deal with the smaller enemies into the large enemies, and eventually you'll be in a good spot. Poor Disturby is just, oh god, hopefully that computer doesn't melt down with all the deaths and all the enemies on screen and everything. Oh my god. Just trying to find a way to get the kill. The worship unit's in play now. Ugh. As for Big D did activate the new altar, which is something that none of the other racers did. Still has most of the Vagrant to go. There are a lot of greater wisps. Those little orbs that are coming out of the Vagrants are really annoying. Right, it's constantly making and forcing Big D and Liam to stay far away from these Vagrants. Not really able to get up close. The Vultures, just more projectiles. The greater wisps, a lot of projectiles, right, that are forcing them to play from afar. There's not really like a safe spot or any cheese tactic or strat that you can do on this stage to really put up with these guys. What was the red from the worship unit? No one has gotten it. I don't even think anyone has a red item this entire run. There we go. Goji found a quail on stage 5. There was one, I believe, on stage 4 or 3. Some pennies as well, not much else. It's looking pretty fast. Has, alright, 7 mochas, 2 red whip, goat hoof. None of the enemies or items being picked up for Goji, though, are really all that good. So we see pennies and stun grenades and bison steaks. There's a rose buckler, I guess. Out the 2 of those. Double slug, like, come on, can we get some damage in here? Jeez. You know, I think the Sturvy is just gonna eventually kill everything with all these deaths. Just from the razor wire rocking. And just randomly shooting in this horde. Right, you want to stay at, if you're doing what the Sturvy's doing and you're just gonna like tilt, at least stand inside TP and make the enemy stop spawning first. You like the resources bonus point rules? I mean, there's things on it. I'm gonna say it one more time though. I feel like if someone did a commando run or something like this run right here, beat everyone else by like 50 minutes, had 1 death, and only got 3 points because of that, I think that's lame. I think you could agree with me on that as well. I think it's definitely has some value, has some merit when you have everyone dying a bunch. But I think it also makes it unfun when, in order for someone to catch back up, they need to win a run deathless if they're going to have any chance of competing, and then they die on like stage 1 or stage 2, and then after that it's just, there's nothing, like there's no matter what happens, the other racer wins, right? As a watcher, I'm not interested in that because there's no more competition. And I feel like, I don't know, it's supposed to train people not to die. I haven't seen that change at all. I think people have been playing exactly the same. So that's just my take on it. Again, I know some people like it. I want to wait. If I keep seeing it and I see it's good, I might adopt it. As of now, it is not going to be in there. So I think some runs are just, I mean, how do you do this run without dying? Some runs aren't bonus point worthy. Well, some runs I think are. I think it's not fair if a loadout just isn't able to have bonus points no matter what. And that's going to be it. I'm done with that topic. Okay, how are people doing? Goji's going in for a scrap. 14 green, 10 white. Jeez, I mean, is there anything good in this entire run aside from the Mocha printer? Aside from the double ATG? No. This run has been garbo. Disturby done with TP. Did Disturby at least hit the blue portal? Oh, yep, we get to see what's in here. As there's a vase as well. Nice. Good find. We see stompers. See, if anyone just went in and activated a blue portal, boom, stompers. Oh my god. And see, this is something that Big D's eventually going to get. We'll see what the soups are going to be for Goji, but if anyone activated stage 2 TP's blue portal or stage 3, I mean, I don't know, 3 might have been in one that was just out of reach. I mean, he had the egg at that point though. But oh my, it's just so important. There's like a 1 in 4 chance you're gonna get something game changing, whether it's spare drone parts that you can then build up for, if it's oh geez, I mean, even something like Behemoth, something like Scorpion, hell, even a H0sting or something of that matter is at least better than nothing. And it only loses you about 30 seconds in a run where people are dying 6 times in first place. Oh, I mean, even with the stompers though, even if you had stompers, right? Disturby, who, I mean, before pre-tilt at 93 deaths, about to be 94 deaths. There we go. I mean, literally, maybe a chance, perhaps, to finish off beforehand. We see Bottled Chaos, Soulbound Catalyst. If Disturby can at least finish first in real time, I mean, it's going to be a lot of deaths on the board, but 1,000 deaths is better than 1 DNF. Oh, and Shattering Justice is found for Goji. Gets that. There's an energy drink. Oh, Dio's as well. Wait, no, that's a med kit. Okay, I thought that was energy drink for a second. No, it's just a med kit white suit. Checking some of the other areas. Liam is out. On to stage 5. Where, if if Liam thought that was the end of Cope, oh boy. Here we go. Even more Cope coming right up. 3 Chrono Baubles, 2 Dio's best friends. I mean, that's just minus 2 plus 5s that are probably going to happen during phase 3, maybe? I mean, in a run like this, Ramp Cheese is going to be your best option if it was legal, but it's not. You can't do that. So you got to try and find a different way to kill Mithrix. There's the Void Scent for Liam, now at 14 deaths. And Big D's finally got all those other enemies down, is just able to finally get up close damage, build up bleed, all the things you want to do as Commando. Okay, maybe still a few of the greater wisps are alive, but... Yes. I mean, I guess you can kind of shoot at them for a bit. If you're Big D, eventually want to loop around. Sees the low health bar. Kind of wanted to finish off that blazing brass contraption. Big D currently only 30 minutes behind Goji. Goji will need to die many times. At least 7 times for there to be any chance whatsoever for Big D to try and make a comeback. It could happen. Big D's getting a lot of bleed damage in on this boss. The current real time of this run is a little over an hour. Also keep in mind, no feather. There is no feather at all. With the head stompers? Yeah, there it is. Bye-bye watch. Goji has no watch, has no feather, has an opal. That'll slow the amount of deaths, but until Mithrix gets below that 75% threshold, it's Danger City. The good news for Goji is Big D's still focusing on brass contraptions. Oh my god, almost got hit by that one. It's just trying to figure out the next thing to do. It's just probably waiting to get pulled out. Alright, it's avoiding death, but not exactly aiming for the objective. It's Big D right now. But here we go. This is the moment that's going to change all that. There's a Vagrant. We've got some bleed. And a few Mochas could have changed a lot of this here for Big D and for Liam, for that matter. Here comes Disturby with her 96 deaths. Gonna get a stop. There we go. Wish you had that if you're Goji. Down a Dio already. Soon to perhaps be down another. No, actually, we'll probably be fine if you're Goji. Mithrix is going back up a lot more. You've got your eggs, you can kind of space that out. I feel like the rest of phase 1 is going to be doable for Goji. If not a little bit tough. Tough, but doable. Uses the egg, avoids the swipe. So a really good play here. Mithrix is now already at 3rd dead. It's always that first quarter of phase 1, first quarter of phase 3. Those are the tough parts. Maybe no one should get points. Well, maybe you should try this loadout yourself, Wally. And we'll see if you die at least 500 times. Okay, these racers, they're doing their best. They're trying. At least give them a little bit of respect. Give them a little bit of dignity there. That's what I thought. As one of the Vagrants gets killed, only one Vagrant remaining for Big D. But still just has to find that Vagrant, as there's all these greater wisps just kind of in the way, just kind of siphoning up time. Really don't have to focus too much. Maybe trying to pull him back. The Vagrant's not going to move. It's going to stay in the center of the arena. Perfect opportunity here for Big D to be able to get that Vagrant down. Trying to take a look at Liam, by the way. Not too much more going for him right now. No extra bleed dagger. At 15 deaths, Big D at I believe 11 or 10. A lot less than Liam right now. Vagrant down to a few thousand. Don't want to die now. Every death matters. There we go. There's the item. So Ukulele, you have a blue portal, and immediately takes it. Here we go. Does get the vase in time. Big D's out. And Big D's gonna find the head stompers now. Here's the moment. The moment of relief. But also a scary moment. Like, what if someone else found these? Head stomper, or ATG's kept, Ukulele's kept. Very good items. Still in hand. Head stompers are available. Gonna be able to jump over enemies. Given that we know there's no feather on this run. Here we go. It's stomper time. Egg over vase? I agree. I think for the objective that Big D wanted to have of just getting the vase, at least a win for remembering the wanted equipment and going for it, I think the egg would have been a lot better, especially now with the stompers, which one isn't known in the moment, but at least you've got quail, so you can quail stomp. Trying to pull some of the enemies back, maybe. Not sure what's going on for Big D. Big D trying to adjust to the new life of actually having damages. As meanwhile, Goji takes another death here in phase 1. Heal cell, okay. From the rusted key. If Liam finds that as well, we'll get a fuel cell. We'll be able to have 2 egg. Get eggs up a little bit more. The main story that we pretty much see at this point, as a lot of people are probably going to get DNFs, is it's Goji versus Big D. Big D needs to move fast and needs to not die much. But if able to be done, I mean, Goji's already died twice on phase 1 Mithrix, and things are only going to get worse. Right? My standards for, hey, should I loop a run or not, are, do I have a feather? Safer spaces, or some form of way of avoiding Mithrix. And in this loadout, the answer is no. There is none. Unless you went to the soups. Here's a stomp. Did next to no damage. Uh-oh. Maybe you'll have to try and build up some enemies if you're Big D. Big D not vent jumping? Yeah, you've got it in your chamber. Gamer H26 vent, new emote. Use it. There you go. Use the vent. It's a really bad emote. I just have it because I've got a bunch of slots, and I use that as an asset for one of my thumbnails. There we go. There's a vent jump. Very good. Hopefully it doesn't get grandparented. Doesn't, but not able to get towards the enemies. Right, having to deal with 2 grandparents, meanwhile Goji just had 1. Being so much later. Disturby is actually done with the TP event. Very nice. Only there was a band. Disturby actually might have a chance at finding the, or finishing off Mithrix before Goji does. Could be good. Will count as a completion, albeit a 575-minute completion. 580-minute completion. Come on. Hang in there. I don't think that's going to happen. Just with all the deaths, it's just not able to focus in on getting the damage. Oh, man. Liam's still trying at 18 deaths now. I mean, Liam's movement speed is of the following. I see no red whip. Oh, there's a quail. Well, other than that, it's just a goat hoof and energy drink. That's it. Right? Oh, one mocha. Opted to keep the sticky bomb, the teddy bears, and a couple other things over picking up mochas. And it's hurting now. I think this is Wungus? Yeah. But just healing is good. It's going to reduce the amount of deaths that Liam gets. Bigdy's still just trying to get some stomps in. Trying to get any damage. Still using the M1, not bad of an idea. Oh, geez, that's not good, though. You're gonna die as little as you can, and at 142 minutes, I mean, you're 35 behind. In a pretty bad spot for Big D, even with the stompers. Right, phase 2 with the Shattering Justice. With... Is there the ukulele for Goji? No, Goji lost Uke. Interesting. I feel like everyone else had it? Did Goji scrap away the ukulele? I don't know. But Goji, with those 2 Dios, was able to save 10 minutes of deaths. Right, 100 and... would have been maybe 122 minutes. Okay, well, it's added up quickly. It's Goji's tilt level's starting to kind of creep up. Taking so many deaths, but just wants to try and finish the run. This hellish landscape of a Commando loadout. For sure scrapped it. Yeah, I don't... Yikes. Yikes, yikes. We're seeing a lot of blue wings right now, chat. Disturby trying to get the world record for most deaths, I think is at it now at 105. I think record might be 112 or something like that. Big D took a death there. Now at 14. Disturby was stuck in a turret. That's a first. Oh, man. Oh, man. Poor Liam just trying to find something before activating TP. This stage has nothing. This stage 5, you get a Void Sent Flame, you get a Wax Quail, you get a Wungus. That's literally it. I can't think of any other item that's even remotely good that you get on this stage. On stage 5. There's just nothing. It is the most useless stage 5 I've probably ever seen. What's the real time? Real time, Goji's at 10 deaths. We're looking at 74 minutes in terms of health. Yeah, level 73 Mithrix. Big D found a way to no-clip into the stage with Vase there. Oh, the grandparent spawned and pushed down. Interesting. Big D now stuck at a grandparent orb. There's like 50 of them just coming through at all times. Nice. I mean, you can Quail Stomp with that, right? Or maybe needs the Wax Quail or something to go along with it. Or not Wax Quail, Red Whip. We're seeing a lot of Zai construct beams and other things. And while I was talking and thinking and considering that maybe some of the racers might be able to catch up a little bit, I mean, Goji, who just brute force through the run in a very quick manner, right? Dealt with the TP charge times. Look at Big D, still at 2% on TP charge. There's overloading wisps. There's like 55 gup on screen. Elders left and right. What Big D didn't do that Goji did was Goji immediately brought down one of the grandparents to half health. And that then takes damage out of possession. It's now up to the game to kill stuff, and that's going to be a lot more stuff dying because the enemies, they could do tons of damage. Grandparent fire, are you kidding? That's giga value. And I think Big D's starting to realize that, okay, we'll use my surroundings, we'll work with what I got. I've got grandparents. I've had runs like this where there's literally no damage I could do no matter what I did. And I tried my best to get grandparents to spawn. They wouldn't spawn. But this is like the get out of jail free card. Although it's not free, you end up dying maybe once or twice. It's better than nothing. Yes, very much so the average Commando run, I agree. Oh man, here we go. Grandparent son kicks in for Big D. But, I mean, Goji already on Mithrix Pizza. Goji's gonna need to die a lot. And we'll see what happens, is that the enemies slowly build more and more up. You'll notice what Goji's doing is egging away from the ads, is trying to move away to keep the damage on Mithrix. There's a death, it's unfortunate, it happens sometimes, especially when speed's this low, when you're stuck on roll Mando, but the damage isn't letting up. And the mission, the main mission, trying not to die as much as possible, takes a few deaths, makes a few mistakes, but overall not doing bad for what has been given to Goji. Right, isn't getting stuck. Disturby over here scrapping up, hoping that something good could be found. Is scrapping while dealing with the beam of the Zai construct. Scraps the, was that the crowbar? Kind of a yikes. But Big D here with even the stoppers and Quail. Really struggling. Goji's been playing this fairly well, to be honest, with a couple tiny lapses, which shown immense resilience and mental fortitude. Absolutely. I think that's again, say what you want. Say Goji doesn't deserve it or doesn't earn it. I think every point that's going through here in this loadout is being earned. Right. And if it wasn't, then the other racers would be right neck and neck with Goji. Anyway, we're not going to go in that territory. We're going to keep watching. We're going to keep seeing. We're going to keep witnessing another poor death for Goji here. And actually, Big D's starting to catch up a little bit in time. Only 5 deaths behind now. Is that, I believe that was a Wisp death or an Elder death. And yeah, I mean, if Big D had Volcanic Egg, I think we would be seeing a lot more damage being dealt these stomps. There's nothing really to vase to, right? Or Big D, I mean, I think you might have used to been able to vase all the way up to the rock at the top of the map. I don't know if you can anymore. I think it's too far away or something. It has to deal with this grandparent, 2 grandparents, and still has 100% of the TP charge to go through. Or, my bad, 98%. Disturby's second on the moon. Oh no. Is trying. We do know Disturby knows about the host skip from there, but is gonna try and look for soups, as he should, when you're at 664 minutes. Who knows? Maybe everyone else is at 1,000. Goji, meanwhile, at 150. Right, the death's starting to pile up more and more. At 14 now. Here come the exploders. Here comes everything else. And do you go for Bottle Chaos? There's Dio's best friend, but we all know what's going to happen there. What's the difference between 117 and 118? Oh, Disturby also... No, wait, no, did keep the Uke. I like that play because in Phase 3 and on Phase 2, if you have Stompers and you have Uke, the ukulele sparks will, like, fly off of one another, and you can get, like, 5 or 6 times damage on a stomp, potentially. Goji down to the remaining 40-some% of the fight. Takes another death, though. And with just so many exploders, I mean... Yikes. Look at that. Look at that horde. We're probably going to start seeing Perfecteds in a second here. Goji takes a moment to breathe. Honestly, I don't blame. I don't blame him. 161. Imagine if someone just had the head stompers on like stage 2. It could have been Goji. Goji did opt for a stage 1 blue portal. Didn't go in, and I liked the call because there just wasn't enough items. You don't want to skip out on that potential first soup. Because if it is good, then everyone else gets it except you. Bigdy taking a death there at 180 minutes, 20 minutes behind Goji. And we'll still have to do all of 98% of the TP charge. Still needs to do all of the Mithrix fight. Not looking too good. Despite the fact that it seems close. Right, the rate of deaths that we're still seeing despite having stompers. As this run that almost seems like it's stuck in neutral. Stuck in just in park. Right, you could set this, if this was a video, you could set it to times 10 speed and it would feel like it's still kind of a little slow to run. Reminder, in terms of real time, this run is at 77, like 83 minus 100. I think 83 minutes in real time for this commando run. As we get slowly see Mithrix's health on Goji's screen down at 71. Goji's, I mean, in some aspects, what can you? Oh man, seriously dies from that? I thought they were at least up enough to not take damage from that. Yikes. So just a little bit of tilt kicking in there at the 19th death. Trying to at least just finish off the fight, though. We'll see what that can do for Big D. Still trying to kill this grandparent, which... Oh, it takes the death from something. From a grandparent? From a rock? I don't know. Could just cut up to Liam in deaths. True. Very true, but I mean, still with such a low amount of the TP fight to do, or the Mithrix fight, right? We're looking at 57 Mithrix health, 57,000. Every time pizza comes up, Mithrix loses at least 10,000 health. And if you could just get a few of those in. Once Goji finishes this run, I mean, Disturby's is freed from 123 deaths. But it's going to be a very quick timer for Big D and for Liam here. As Big D gets stuck inside the sun and just unable to get out, another death happens, tries to vase away, but it was a little too late. It's now at 24 deaths. Right, couple deaths behind still from Liam. Mithrix is now 24. I mean, this is a rough finish for a rough run. But it's going to be huge for Goji, potentially. So when you look at that, you just don't want to die any more times. Accidentally ramp cheeses, but that's fine. And actually finishes off Mithrix that way with a little bit of cheese. It was accidental though, did not touch the ramp for that, but did use the ramp there. So that's an oopsie. Not the end of the world though. It's like 1% of Mithrix's health is now on phase 4. Got the ATG back. Mithrix is slamming the ground. This run might finally end soon. Hopefully no more deaths for Goji. Man, it's crazy. I mean, Big D is almost struggling more than what Goji was on stage 5. Even with those stompers. Despite having them. And holding on to the quail, holding on to an ATG. Ukulele as a fuel cell. I mean, I feel like that egg would have been a huge help to make up for the lack of mobility. I mean, again, all Big D really has is a a goat hoof and an energy drink for speed. Nothing more aside from that. Egg is good movement speed. And it's free stomps. And you can like phase through the gravity orbs, the grandparents and other things, and with this, I mean, unless Goji dies again, I mean, Goji gets first place and will win the race. Sub 200. Says miserable game. Hold up there. You don't want to die anymore. This does go on the permanent record. Hey, it could have been 23 deaths. A double Dio there. Able to save 10 minutes there. 1 minute per green scrap. And I mean, you know, looking at the other racers. I mean, you lose the grandparent, you lose all forms of damage if you're Liam. If you're Big D, you have to maybe like kill one of the grandparents and then let the other one do some damage and just give yourself a space to charge, because with both of them, gravity, or one of them orbing you and the other one doing the sun, it's really hard to pull off. But in such an awkward situation, we finally make it. We'll just say time to deny double bonus. Let's see, that's 202.28. Goji has 21 deaths at a 192.28. Disturby is DNF'd. And Liam and Big D are like, oh, is it time for me? Do I gotta go? Is it finally happening? Are we free? Big D's thinking, did my screen go weird maybe? There's this concede run button. At any point you can click on. If you ever want to escape a run, if it's just too bad and you don't want to play it, you can concede. That's why we have it there? Yeah. And that's a concede for Big D. Liam, the only one remaining inside. Because again, I mean, look at Goji's score. It's 192.29 first place. Sub 195 for Roll Commando. Oh, man. Liam's still technically in it. Probably thinking, how am I still in this? I'm at 198 minutes. Okay, yeah, it's not even going to be a double bonus denial. We'll go ahead and just time to complete. And by complete, again, that's kill phase 4 Mithrix. Needs to be done by 2:32:28. So somehow didn't have to get the DNF, even at 198 minute run time. Yikes. Gotta think, if you're Liam, what do you got that Goji didn't have? You have 3 teddy bears, so the amount of times that you get hit by Mithrix and not die is kind of increased. Oh, this might be fall damage. Liam's not happy about that. Oh, you stopped sprinting for just a hair. No! Oh, opal though. Is that a double opal? No, single opal, but 3 rose buckler. Able to survive. Doesn't die from it. For once, can we give Goji a seed that isn't complete cope? No. That would, yeah, Cheese knows exactly. That would ruin the point of the Goji torture experiment. This was an experiment, I believe it was Cabbage. Paid me $1,000 to get 27, what do they call them? Control sample people? And then Goji. And put them all in quote-unquote loadouts that are fair and randomized. And then I just have to make sure I put in the most cope possible for Goji. To try and... I don't know why Cabbage wants me to do this, but it is what it is, I guess. And if you're a Liam, you gotta keep that grandparent alive. The second you lose that grandparent, you lose all your DPS. Or you gotta find another grandparent to bring down low. Find the part of the TP that isn't in range of that grandparent. And use that. Oh, wait, no, there's another one alive. Okay, you're fine. You can kill that then. There you go. I feel like that would have been the better one to have alive, though. This one's kind of out of the way. So yeah, you're gonna get Blazing Gup everything all over the TP. Oh, that's a death. My parents caught up there. Has until 232 to complete. I mean, you saw what Goji's run was. It's pretty much going to be identical for Liam. It would be at least a small victory for Liam to make it to the moon. I think, man, could you imagine a loadout like this? You're playing Commando. A common question is asked: is every run winnable? And you know what's the funny thing about this run? This run is very much winnable without dying. But the things you have to do, you have to go to a blue portal and get head stompers. If this was a full loot run, you'd probably have to go to void fields, maybe try and see if there's a couple gold shores you can end up at, right, in the gold coast. Get some extra items through there, right? You gotta use your hidden realms. You gotta use every blue portal, and through that, what a run that looks like this, even with full looting. Right? I don't think Liam really missed many chests at all. So that's another death, and he goes to above the 210 mark. You gotta figure out, like, what can you do? And in a run like this, it's blue portal, blue portal, blue portal. And dare I say, void field, void field, void field, if you really have to. Like, personally, if I had a stage 4, like Big D's or Goji's, if I was allowed to go to void fields, you know, you go there, there's plenty of void cradle spawn in, plenty of printers. It just takes one bleed printer, and suddenly you're Giga Gaming. I mean, alternatively, what I'd actually probably do is think, oh, there'll just be a good printer on stage 5, and I'll be fine. 520 credits or 540 credits worth of stuff. Certainly something's good. Can you go to void fields more than one time? Didn't know that. Only once. And you are in the hosting league allowed to go there. Time does continue moving, even in the mod, or because of the mod, right? So even with the update, the timer still ticks. Now that it no longer counts as a stage completion, you can go in there in the racing. Which we've seen happen once, but that was because someone was so tilted they threw by doing it. And, yeah. 213 minutes. Has 20 minutes, again, a good moral victory for Liam, in my opinion. Liam, who already is getting an third place in this loadout race, to at least finish off the TP and maybe finish the completion would be good. But the strategy here of going for the grandparent is not what you want to be doing. You want to be charging TP, still at 4%. You kill the grandparent, and what's that accomplish? You get one item from TP? Like, what item could you get in this situation that would make you able to just kill everything that spawns in? Everything that I mean, the enemies are at level 78, level something like that. I mean, real time at this point, it's 93 minutes. Right, you get to the moon, Mithrix is maxed out. Oh, that's 7 sun damage. That's also 3 rose bucklers. It's going to be fine. Just got to make sure you keep sprinting. Technically, there's still ATG shorter gamble on the moon. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. If you're playing it silly, if you're playing it funny, you can go for that. That would do it. Let's actually go ahead and hand out Goji 5 points for that race. Again, really well done. Right, at least 40 minutes ahead of everyone else there. I don't want to say only died 21 times, but you look at some of the other racers. I mean, Liam's at 24. Disturby was at 124. Big D was at about the same number right here, but just didn't want to go any further. Right, and that was, I mean, Commando, featherless, spacesless, speedless, kind of. Well, Commando anyway. Made it work, though. As much as 21 deaths is. Yeah, Goji absolutely did a good job. 15 minutes still here. We're just kind of chilling away. How you doing, chat? I'm pretty much out of stuff to talk about, right? The only things I can talk about is if you want to win this and you're Liam, or at least get past this, you got to keep the grandparent alive. That's about it. This run made me feel clinically depressed during Mithrix. You know, runs like this, I remember back when I was racing, I would question my existence. They didn't like it when I did that. No. And now I'm a caster. Find a little sweet spot there. Your Jets is on the way right now? Well done, cheese. Not even exaggerating. Oh, I'm not either. I'm not either, Goji. Chat, if you ever want to get super depressed, just have a run like this where you're constantly just in, like, not even trying to int, but do your best, and you just die 50 times. Eventually, you go past tilt and you enter a land of depression. Does Cheese get a Jet's allowance for all the repping he does? Yes, but... Oh, no, you can't hide behind that. That's not going to save you. You know what is going to save you, though? Oh, keep sprinting, keep running. No! The teddy bear blocked so many of the... of those procs. Oh, jeez. At 2:22 now, 10 minutes to go before it happens. This run looks miserable. Yeah, what if I told you this was like the second best of anyone else? All right, we can go back to Goji. This was first place this time. If you can't read that, it says 192 minutes and 28 seconds. 21 deaths. First place. And is still doing and that's still at least 40 minutes better than the next best person. All right, everyone else either has to concede or I mean, in Liam's case here, about to concede. Oh, man. Oh, I can hand out the gamble. Choose prediction. Who wins? It's Goji. It looks like for a little bit, Big D might have had a chance with the Stomper's Find. But that stage 4 just, I mean, was the beginning of the end. For it all. You can tell that Liam plays with a really high sensitivity. You can, like, feel the mouse movement. I think I've looked at Liam's Twitch. A Fortnite streamer, by the way. He's got that Fortnite aim going. It's running and ended in 10 minutes. Yeah. It's about the moral victories. In this case, it's about trying to kill a grandparent, I guess. And that grandparent, again, is the only thing keeping alive. So you gotta look out for... Uh-oh. Overloading. Bubble. No, wait, that was Teddy Bear moment? Yeah. This is me had to quit Risk of Rain 2 forever. You know, a fun fact, like, over at Risk of Resources, the more the racers will race, the more often, every time a schedule pops up, they will say, I'll race, or I'll take part in the event, but I'm only going to be a caster. And it happens more increasingly the more they do races, because things like this happen, and they you gotta be a literal psychopath to say that this is fun in this moment. This is just a really, really tough run, a really tough setup. Again, that's why we have the concede button. It is available. at any point, like, it's hurting a racer, they can always just tap out. And with that death, I mean, it's on death's door now. If I was Cheese, I'd probably just call it, but it is what it is. The last 2 minutes of fame here for Liam. Is that grandparents actually healing? Is that I think there's a mushroom. A mushroom took a bunch of damage from the sun, walked right on top of the grandparent, and all the progress that Liam's been working on for the past 10 minutes, yeah, there it goes. And Cheese is saying, yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, it's a mending up? Yeah, okay, it's even worse. They'll split up and then all the little split ends will just mend all over the place. And that'll do it. Again, GG to Goji. A really, really good performance. Despite that, it says 21 deaths. It might seem like it's not fair or not good. Just look at everyone else, what happened to them, and then look at someone who actually managed to beat the game. That takes dedication, that takes skill, no matter how many deaths are there. Goji finished at least 8 deaths more than the others, played really well, and for all the misery that was, earned the win. GG.